Пошли. Все вместе. Какие ваши доказательства?
They want you to comply.
Cancel culture is about canceling.
Кокаином.
Up yours. Woke moralists. Up yours.
This is systematic bullying that's happening.
Woke moralists. Up yours.
And they believe that they can then
Woke
shut us
moralists.
up.
F around and find out.
Up yours. Woke moralists.
They seem animalistic is what I mean.
No, they're worse than animals.
The woke mob, they ruin everything.
They stop Ben Shapiro from going to events and speaking. They stop Ann Coulter from doing it.
I will never surrender even a single inch of ground to a pitchfork mob.
You never cave to the mob.
We will never bow to the mob. Ever. No matter what.
Do you see the final expression of cancel culture in terrorist groups like
Up yours.
We'll see who cancels who.
Hello.
Who said that?
Hello.
How's it going, everyone?
That was me. Hey,
Sound
can I
good.
shout out? We just got 2 raids right out of the gates. Big thank you to KF Logan 1875 and No Justice MTG. Thank you for all those raiders. It's a lot of raids.
Oh, very cool. Wow.
Hi everybody. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Well, that's it. We're
Just
done.
sit here and be quiet now. And really show.
Make with
Really
the funny,
show them that
guys.
they've made the right choice. Yeah, they'll
Make-
Here, here.
They're surely hooked on
Make
leftist
with the
mafia
dance.
now.
Where's the song and dance, fellas? You want to be stars, don't you?
Oh, nice,
All right.
David.
So what?
Coming in clutch with the sound effects. I like it.
I mean, that's the way to fill the silence.
Yeah, yeah.
Or we could just have here. This is like the background noise. It's like we're at a bar. We just-
What?
so it's never actually silent.
What?
What are we doing?
What happened? Anything happened this week? I don't know. Is there
lot.
news? Do we do news? Is that what happened?
I don't
on the
want to
show?
talk about politics. Let's just talk about stupid shit today.
Yes.
If you want a stupid shit today, Mike, I do have a present for you. I have a video for a Canadian campaign ad that's even as cringy as American ones are. The Canadians finally caught up, and it's really dumb and silly.
I'd
and
love to
doesn't
see
actually
it.
require any brain cells.
Have I seen this? I don't think I've seen this.
Probably it's super viral all over Canada, Twitter today.
I know, but I've been
I
ignoring.
put it in the group chat. It's basically how coffee cups are woke and destroying woke coffee cups.
Oh wow,
let's
they're like
watch.
10 years too late there. Joshua Fierstein did that back in 2014, but I appreciate them.
Oh really? God damn it!
Yeah.
And out cringe American campaign ads.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
this
can't,
was
you can't out cringe America.
right. It was a
Yeah.
We're
viral
number
video
one.
because Starbucks made their Christmas cups red, and so they took Christ out of it. So he's like, "Hey, say that your name is Merry Christmas," and then that'll show them.
Well, this one has a new twist. You might like it.
Okay.
Well, Canada, this is the last straw. I mean, lid. Really, Tim Hortons? Paper lids that disintegrate in your mouth? Come on. This is just another example of something trying to help the environment when it's actually going to have the opposite effect. If we have a plastic lid, at least it's recyclable. But this, disintegrating in your mouth as you're trying to drink your coffee? No thanks. I don't know about you, but until Tim Hortons gets rid of this paper lid, I'm done with Tim Hortons.
Okay, Leanne.
All right, listen. I'm gonna be
Tim Hortons,
I'm
by
gonna
the
be
way,
truthful.
isn't Tim Hortons owned by like a Brazilian national company? Like it's
Yeah,
not
I
even a
got bought
Canadian
out.
company
It's-
anymore.
It's not Canadian anymore.
Just be
I'm
happy
gonna
you
be-
have Tim Hortons, Leanne. We don't have that here.
I'm gonna be
I
straight
also-
up. I'm gonna be straight up. I have used paper straws when they are given to me at various fast food restaurants, and they suck. They're really bad. They
Some are
do.
better than others, though.
They're not,
They're
There are
bad.
thicker
they're not
ones that aren't-
standardized there
thicker
yet.
ones that aren't
Like,
too
in
bad.
Vancouver, you can only have plastic straws. Sorry, paper straws. So it's been
No,
paper for a while.
some places got them, some places don't. I hate them.
Okay.
However,
They're all
with that
paper
being said, they're like a minor inconvenience. I wouldn't make a
Right.
complaint about it.
I
Like
don't
I'm only
think-
bringing it up because of this. Like, I don't think I've ever told anybody this before in my life.
It's a joke. Like, there's no policy here. It's just like, hey, you hate this, I hate this too. It's just like,
I mean,
boycott them.
I also
it's like me doing an ad on like video games, how I love video games, and then just like vote for me. Just like, what?
Very serious.
Why?
No, I agree with Matt. I don't like paper straws, but what I did was I bought some reusable straws and I never thought about it again. I just don't know how you're running.
Mike, you sure that's more you know, that's quicker and easier and cheaper than creating an entire video production campaign ad on the matter? I mean, have you considered the cost savings analysis?
I have not done the cost benefit analysis, no. So you got me there.
I also I got Tim Hortons this week and they were still plastic for me. So I'm not sure if this is certain regions.
Oh, like it's based on the province. It's weird because in Oregon,
Maybe.
a lot of places adopted paper straws in like 2020, and now we don't really have them. I don't see them as often, so I'm not really sure if they reversed it after everybody complained. Or they're just saying fuck it. We don't have paper bags though, or I'm sorry, we don't have plastic bags. We only have paper bags.
I'm basically just waiting for Apple to take everything, like every possession and item we have, and squish it into the one item. Because I see they're about to do that for like all of like our joy and childhoods. They've already found out how to do that. They're just squishing it into one thing we all have to have. We're all going to have the thing, but we should do that for everything. You know, every single thing humans have ever made, we should squish it into the one thing, and then they should sell it. And then we all get
I saw that ad and I was
that.
just so in case no one knows what he's talking about, there's an Apple ad for I guess the new iPad, and it's just like they're squishing like what is it, like a piano? It's a bunch of shit. It's a bunch of like analog.
It's your childhood. It's an arcade machine. It's painting. It's like games. It's musical instruments. A piano. Like
I saw that and I was just I was actually surprised at how many people were offended. I'm just like, it's just a stupid ad. Like, who cares? Yes, it's stupid. I agree. Like, it doesn't. I'm not like, oh, I'm gonna get an iPad now. But it's meaningless.
Well, people thought,
I was amazed
it
by
was
the
trying
outrage.
to strike at the human experience itself, and that part I thought was a bit much. I was like, no, they literally stole an ad from 2 years ago. That's the exact same thing where they just squished a whole bunch of stuff, but it was this way instead of this way. But like, I was like, more so, I'm just surprised someone didn't mention like this might rub people the wrong way, that we're literally going to like squish and destroy a bunch of stuff that's functional. And
the way I was thinking about it was that they were squishing it into the iPad. Like, this iPad can do all of these things. But some people were taking, they're destroying everything we love, and they want to replace it with the iPad. Whereas I was looking at it as like, no, they're putting all these technologies into this iPad. That's what they're.
That's how they make the iPads. If you want video games, they have to take an arcade machine and they squash it down with a hydraulic press into your iPad. If you want porn, they have to take some dildos and porn stars and squash them down. Like, that's how they get the things into your internet. So
that's pretty cool.
Exactly,
that's how they make it.
Science is awesome.
I will say this. This is like the paper cup and straw issue. This is another thing that I get the outrage. I did think it was a commercial in bad taste. I think especially right now where people
the outrage
creatives especially are feeling the pressure due to all this AI hype. And to see Apple, a company that's supposedly supposed to back creators by creating the products that all these creators use, to see them basically say, crush all this stuff you need, because at the end of the day, you need this technology. It's all in this technology. You don't need it. You don't need that stuff. I get it. I get the outrage. I get it. The commercial was bad taste, especially from Apple, who, like I mentioned, usually is very much the tool that helps the people who use the tools that they crushed create. But again, another thing where it's like, is this really what I'm going to spend my time on? Like, are you gonna go pitch a tent in a park and protest the Apple commercial when there are more relevant things happening in the world? I mean, this is just not.
They're gonna call in the National Guard over your protest,
right? This is something where you like fire off like a tweet, a short 300-word blog post, something like that, and just say bad taste, dumb move from Apple, not really what they should be about. And that's it.
I mean, I was just unamused by it because the will it blend videos and the hydraulic press videos, those were entertaining to me back during the Vine era. But now I just I've seen everything get squished and I don't care. I will say that I wasn't necessarily offended by that ad, but it is better than the regular Apple ads because they're usually just so pretentious and they're smelling their own farts and they're like, we're changing lives one iPhone at a time, and they're showing somebody dying and they get an iPhone or some shit. Those are the ads that I hate so much. Back, I don't know when it was, they did one presentation where they had an actress, I'm blanking on her name, so I'm doing a shitty job explaining this, but she was playing Mother Nature, and they were all having a conversation with Mother Nature and how well they were doing to mitigate their carbon footprint. And it made me hate them so much, even if they were telling the truth, which they're probably not. I just hate them so much because they're just so they are the Democratic equivalent of a corporation. It's just everything they say is so phony, so contrived, so performative. I hate them so much, but yet I have an iPhone, an iPad, and an iMac, so I'm part of the problem. I should shut the fuck up.
You're part of the Apple cult. I didn't know that.
I am. Yeah,
no.
I am.
I just feel like I'm just numb to advertising now. I'm not even bothered by it. Of course, a corporation is going to speak this way. Of course, they're going to say this. It's just it's hard. I find it hard to even get outraged about stuff that's just normal, I guess.
Yeah, I remember that Mother Nature thing. It was
it's Octavia Spencer. Thank you, Bay Photo.
Yes, it was the thing that they showed at during one of their Apple events.
Yeah,
it was very it was bad. It was badly done.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, just stick to making shit and stop trying to be all quirky and
inspirational and say something just be like, hey, you dumb bitch, here's the new fucking phone, you're gonna buy it, we didn't change shit except for the camera a little bit, buy it, fuck off. That's I would honestly respect that more.
Yeah, I want them to to just all these corporations need to stop pretending they do things that are oh, this is the corporation actually cares. No, you don't. Just make the product.
Oh, Apple!
Shut the fuck
Apple!
up.
It's such good marketing.
Right?
When you actually think about it, the idea they sold to artists, they sold them on that pitch where we care about creativity. They use Einstein in their ads, think different, and all that kind of stuff. Right? It is the most expensive computer line that's end to end and barely upgradable. All you can do is upgrade the RAM and sometimes the hard drive, but that's it. Otherwise, they want complete control. They're like Tesla, how you can only get it repaired.
Well, you could upgrade the RAM and
geniuses.
You could upgrade the RAM and the hard drive if you upgrade it when you're buying it.
When you're buying it, yeah.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, you can't do that later anymore? At all?
No, you can't. Nope. No.
What? I used to be in the cult of Apple, so I used to be I'm going to spend
you left the cult
$2,000-$3,000 on this, because I got a job working at a different company that had PCs, and I realized how cheap it was to replace all the parts all the time.
I don't know. For me, I've never had a PC last for me as long as this iMac has. I have a 2017 iMac that I've used up until today, basically, because I got my laptop to replace it. But it's every PC I've ever had, and really it's Windows. I fucking hate Windows. I've just had, I hate Windows so much. I used to work for a PC, a graphics card company. I don't like PCs. The only reason I ever have a PC, in my opinion, is to play games. And I got enough consoles now, and I got a Steam Deck, and so I'm good. But
that's totally fine. But I'm saying for general society, it would be better for the planet if we had electronics where we replace the parts, because we could have faster shit all the time. We could have the top of the line shit all the time if we didn't have to buy a completely new model with everything, and then we wouldn't have to go to fucking Congo and mine all the fucking bits and pieces to continue.
But if you're only replacing your computer once every 5 years, you're probably saving.
You're not replace, but it's different. You'd be
producing less components.
You'd replace the motherboard,
then
you'd replace the CPU, or you'd replace the graphics card. You'd be consistently upgrading all the elements of that computer.
Who wants to fucking do that? That's why I fucking hate PCs. I want to buy my computer, let it work for 8 years, and then replace it when I need to. That's do I want a phone that replace the components of the phone? No, I don't want to fucking do that.
Fuck the world. It's burning anyway.
Are there phones that exist we can replace the components? No. So why should a computer
exactly?
Be any
and that's
different?
The problem. The problem is we need to buy a new phone every year. You need the iPhone.
Or you have but you don't have to buy it every year. My phone is 5 years old, works fine. And you don't have to buy new shit every year.
For you as a consumer, it would be better. You would have a better piece of technology if you could replace the parts, and we wouldn't have to.
My shit works fine. My phone is old, 5 years old. It works perfectly fine. Don't got to replace it. I'm
gonna have to work on this pitch.
Your pitch makes more sense around 2008, where every year a new iPhone was oh my god, this is a massive difference. But now it's everything still works fine on the phone. I really have no reason else to upgrade except for the camera, and the camera's still great.
You're different though. You're built different, David. As a society, people are consuming and they're still trying to buy and have the newest thing all the time. That's what they're trying to sell you on, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of technology and shitty corporations, did you all hear what happened with Microsoft? They closed more game studios after acquiring them. One of them was Arcane Houston, I think.
I did hear that. I didn't know Microsoft owned them. Oh, of course.
Yeah, they developed Redfall, which was a flop. It was a shitty game. I think that they're actually a talented developer, but I think that they were just pressed for time. But they did the Dishonored series. They closed them down though. They also closed down Tango Game. It was okay, Austin. They also closed down Tango, which just made Hi-Fi Rush, which was a huge success. And
it was fun.
Yeah, I played it. It was pretty fun. I didn't finish it, but it was pretty fun. So it doesn't matter if you're successful or not.
They also did Ghostwire Tokyo, which I really enjoyed. But yeah,
did they really?
These are successful develop Hi-Fi Rush won awards and apparently did pretty well considering it was sort of just it was a shadow drop. It just came out of nowhere. They released it. It did really well, got awards, and it's just think of how frustrating it must be to work on a game for years, have it come out, actually be successful, win awards, you get all this recognition, all this attention, all these sales, and they still close you down. How demoralizing is that for anybody working in games? Because it shows you, even if you're successful, you might still be fucked. Even at a couple of Microsoft, what's their valuation, $3 trillion now? A company like Microsoft with endless money, and they still don't think you're worth enough to keep. It's insane. And they just acquired Activision. There was a year-long legal battle over Activision, and what's going to happen there? It's really, they're turning into what Embracer is. Embracer is another publisher that for past several years they bought up all these companies, and now they're closing them all because they can't afford to run them. And these companies, all these independent companies, they were fine. They were able to operate the way they were operating, but this massive conglomerate buys them up, shutters half of them, and destroys a shit ton of lives. And already this year, there are already more layoffs this year in the game industry than all of last year combined. And it's it's not looking like things are going to get any better.
Yeah, they need to unionize. That's something that I think would make a difference. One thing that really pissed me off about this story is, I'm not sure the guy's name. He's the former president of Blizzard. He was defending Phil Spencer, the head of Xbox, saying, "Oh, he feels so bummed out about this." And it's just read the fucking room. You're a multi-millionaire, and you're closing down these game companies for no good reason. It's just to pad the pockets of investors, increase profits from last year. When if you look to Nintendo, for example, back in 2013, after they released the Wii U, it bombed. But then President, the late Satoru Iwata, he took a 50% pay cut to avoid layoffs and to keep the salaries of the employees sustained. So why can't Phil Spencer do that? There's no excuse. It's just straight up greed. And it's really fucked up. And I hope that as demoralized as people are in the gaming industry, I hope that they understand that they need to start talking about unions right now. Do some research on how to talk to your coworkers about unions, because this is not going to stop. It's only going to get worse.
Also, if you're in a team of people, you are all working together and you all have extra time now, and maybe you're getting severance for a couple months, maybe you consider making a worker co-op together, making your own games, make an indie game studio, go pump out some fucking awesome titles, and be your own bosses, control your own labor, control your own salaries, control your own company.
Yeah, I mean, going independent, I feel like that's the only way you can ensure your long-term survival. And don't get bought the fuck out. Don't let these big companies consume you, because they're going to shut you down.
I will say that I completely agree. Just the one issue that I'm hearing with that is that there is less investment money now for these companies to be able to even start up. So there's a lot of if you're starting a new company, you essentially have to work for free for a long time, put out a product, hope it's successful before you're able to really make any money. And that a lot of people just are not in a position to be able to do that.
Yeah,
right. That's true. I'm going to assume, being an indie game developer, a little bit different than being an indie what we do. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
lot more involved. Probably more money.
There's no cost associated with what we do.
Yeah, definitely more.
Right.
You know, minimal time.
More overhead.
Yeah. It sucks. There is some brain rot if you guys wanted to watch brain rot. I haven't seen this yet. I'm saving it.
Are you literally talking about literal brain worms? Are we talking about RFK Jr.?
Oh, I know, but
that would have been a good transition.
I totally forgot about
worms. You say, Mike? I've heard of worms.
That's the least surprising story ever.
2024, America, do me right. Vote for worm.
Yeah.
All right, vote worm in office.
Yeah. It's crazy because I saw the headline that RFK Jr. had a parasite eat part of his brain, and I'm like, yeah, makes sense. It's the least surprising.
Surprised at all. Like, well, fine. Now we have an explanation.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
It all makes sense now.
Well, apparently it was mercury poisoning that was causing him to think a lot of the unusual things, unorthodox things he thought. So he also had mercury poisoning.
How do you get mercury poisoning?
From eating
Apparently
fish.
Ate too much fish. That's what
I don't know why. My first thought was that
claims, though,
he
a lot of
bit
these
down on
claims
a thermometer
are
or some shit.
A lot of these claims though are from him in his divorce deposition. It's him claiming his doctor, one of the doctors that advised him claims that he thinks he had a parasite eat part of his brain and die in his brain. But it doesn't seem like that was ever really verified. It's just like, his doctor told him this. But do they know that?
It was revealed in a divorce proceeding too, wasn't it? It was one of the reasons why he can't pay alimony or something like that.
I was reading about his divorce and I was like, oh my God, this is super depressing. Because there's a lot more to it. But yeah, I don't. I've barely talked about RFK on my channel because I just feel like he's.
Same.
First of all, I don't want to play clips of him because I don't want to listen to him. I'm sorry.
Why not?
I don't want to hear his voice. It is very hard to listen to.
Maybe a worm ate his
for various
vocal cords
reasons
too. Is that?
But yeah, I just find him. He's not really important. Like he can't win in the way the system is currently set up in the electoral college and first past the post. He can't win.
Right.
So we're really talking about, is he a threat enough to take votes away? But then I'm thinking like both of these people really suck. I don't really like. What am I going to freak out about RFK taking votes away from Biden when Biden's right now supporting a genocide? It's not the right time for that. So I just don't think
he'll take votes away from Trump, not from Biden. Yeah.
Well,
he might.
There's like conflicting polling on that, like depending on, I don't know, like again, I agree with you, Lance. I think that is the case, but then there's other polling claiming that the opposite of that, which I find bizarre, especially at this point. I would hope most people would know who RFK or what he's standing for, but I feel like
this is sad, right? Like Woody Harrelson's doing the narration. They're pitching him as kind of like this more hippie, liberal version of a Democrat, independent kind of idea. Like that's what they're going with.
But he's been anti-abortion, pro-abortion. Like he's on both sides of so many issues.
Yeah,
a lot of
he's more Zionist than Biden. Like, what is he offering?
Also deeply homophobic and racist. I mean, he wrote a book where he says multiple times that HIV doesn't cause AIDS. Like beyond all the other silly things, he thinks that microplastics cause trans people. He thinks that Ashkenazi Jews were spared during COVID because it was bioengineered by the Chinese. Like the guy, I mean, he's pretty fucked up at extreme. That's one of the reasons why I just like laughing at him. But that's it. Otherwise, don't entertain him as a serious anything.
No, for sure.
Somebody got mad at me in chat for making that joke.
Any kind of discussions around like a spoiler candidate kind of thing, I feel like it should be left maybe more to like the fall, just when we get closer to see what things are actually amounting to.
I mean, the most annoying thing is that he portrayed himself as being different than Joe Biden, different than Donald Trump, and now we found out that he too had his brain eaten by worms, and it's the same thing. Now we got a choice between 3 different guys who had brain worms. The question is, who has the most brain left, and that's who we vote for.
We need to take calls. If this person
dated my mom in the 90s, I'm 100% serious. From Giant Walrus.
Giant. Wow. You need more. You need to spill the tea.
More salacious information.
Details. Yeah. Okay, so The brainworms that I was talking about is a clip from Hillary Clinton, which always causes brainworms. Perhaps more so than the parasite that allegedly ate Robert Kennedy Jr.'s brain. Let me see. I think I have it pulled up. Oh, I also have the entire 1 hour long press conference of Republicans just taking turns saying that Biden supports Hamas, which is there's so many.
Let's watch the whole hour. Let's do it.
I'm down. It's great. There's some highlights there. I haven't seen all of it. There's the Katie Britt moment. The Susan Collins, for some reason, is really great.
Just I found the Hillary clip. Are we gonna? Okay, we should give like a trigger warning to people that can't stand Hillary Clinton.
Yeah,
I haven't watched this yet, but I could already
tell
by
the
caption that I'm going to not enjoy it.
The synopsis made me irate, so listening to it is gonna send me over the edge. So I'm preparing myself mentally.
I have had many conversations, as you have had, with a lot of young people over the last many months.
No,
now.
she has not.
And you're right. They don't know very much at all about the history of the Middle
Hillary,
East.
shut
frankly,
up.
about history in many areas of the world, including
Hillary,
in our own
stop.
country.
You're so unserious.
To the Middle East. They don't know that under the bringing together of the Israelis and the Palestinians by my husband, the then Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, the then head of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, then the Palestinian Authority, Yasser Arafat. An offer was made to the Palestinians for a state on 96% of the existing territory occupied by the Palestinians, with 4% of Israel to be given to reach 100% of the amount of territory that was hoped for. And this offer was made, and if Yasser Arafat had accepted it, there would have been a Palestinian state now for about 24 years.
So now we must murder 30,000 civilians.
Right. Right. Yeah, Yasser Arafat didn't accept the offer 24 years ago. So about the Palestinians now, fuck them. I mean, that's really what she's saying. Like who?
Right.
Like first of all, the idea that
that kids are stupid.
That's first of all, that's not even like the correct sort of summary of what went down. But let's even put that aside. Let's even just say that she is absolutely correct. This deal was on the table. It was a fantastic deal. The best deal they've ever seen. It was a wonderful deal. And the Palestinians,
tremendous,
who were in charge at the time, Yasser Arafat, did not accept the deal 24 years ago. How is that relevant to how kids perceive, how the youth today perceive the situation that's going on over there? Like, half the people in Gaza weren't even born. When that deal, that great, fantastic deal, the best deal they've ever seen, was even on the table. Like, what does that have to do with how people are viewing what's happening right now and how they're reacting to it, how they're protesting against it? It's such bullshit. Like, it doesn't even make any sense. And the fact that like these people go on TV and never gets any pushback on top of that, like people just sit there and nod their heads. They're paid millions of dollars to go on TV and just nod their head. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, has she not learned that the strategy of being condescending does nothing? Like consistently talking shit about younger voters and being like, oh, they're just simply not educated enough to understand the problem or the complexities of it. Not like me. Yes. How's Libya doing, by the way? I definitely know geopolitics very well. Like, I'd say whatever she believes, believe the opposite.
They never even they never even think things through here and like what it like how that this would be relevant for like other issues throughout history. Like I don't know, like what if like the deal was put on the table, 3/5 compromise, for example, should have taken it. And if they didn't, can't get angry about slavery anymore. There was a deal on the table and they didn't take it. And now 20 years later, we got to it is what it is. Should have taken the deal. You could use this for any single issue throughout history. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous.
Yeah. And
same thing applying to protest. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. No, I was going to say she's been wrong about every single issue. She was wrong about the Iraq War. She was wrong about Libya. She, as Secretary of State under the Obama administration, was basically the one that pushed that, right? So she has the audacity to say, "Oh, well, you're all uninformed." Motherfucker, have you ever learned from a single foreign policy mistake in your entire life? You've made multiple, and you're still saying the same thing. You're still pushing the same neoconservative line, and it's just insufferable. And I always like envision, like, whenever Biden is doing really bad, or there's a new poll that comes out showing he's suffering with regard to young people, they're like, okay, we have to send out Hillary to tell them to go fuck themselves because that's going to help. Like, they hit the Hillary button and they send her out because, you know, they've got to scold us to get back in line. That's going to work.
She's put on television to make boomers feel better. That's why she's there. Like, there's no other there's no other reason to bring her on television except to make the Morning Joe audience, which you know, it does not skew young, to make them feel good about themselves.
The average age of the Morning Joe audience is I think is their biggest fans' age. Joe Biden. I mean, he watches it every
median
morning.
Age, actually.
No, I don't know if that's the median.
It is old. I don't know what it is though.
But it's clear that it's for that audience. Like, yeah. I mean,
there's a reason why it's
the only
show.
It's the only show really like that on MSNBC, and you got to assume it's because that show brings in a very specific demographic that I guess makes that hour on MSNBC specifically a revenue driver. I'm assuming that's my guess. Because you know, the rest of the MSNBC lineup, I'm not saying they're super leftist or even generally like progressive, but it's probably doesn't bring a demographic that brings in the big bucks. It's not exactly, you know, your Wall Street audience. You're like, you know, that's not real. But I think Morning Joe probably brings those people.
That audience is up at 5, and most of them are in bed by 8 p.m. when Chris Hayes comes on. So that's why they don't really get to see any different perspective.
No, that's exactly it. Morning Joe is on so fucking early in the morning.
Yeah. What's sad is that Morning Joe back in 2016 wasn't the worst MSNBC show. They were the only ones that were actually giving Bernie Sanders a little bit of a fair shake. They were showing how many people were showing up to his rallies.
They were so back. No,
comparatively speaking, you know what I mean?
There were moments. There were segments, yes, for sure, but there were also segments where they were just straight up bullshitting their way about him and what he stood for. Like they were very back. Like same with Trump. Like there were segments about Trump where they were like praising him, and then other ones where they were like criticizing him.
They were his biggest boosters. They were his biggest boosters. I remember in 2015 and early 2016. That's when I was watching. Literally, I was working at Cafe at the time, and my job was to pump out daily video type stuff, and the stuff that got the most views was Trump's zany antics and everything. And so I would see day in, day out, every minute of what Trump was doing, and there is no show that gave him more airtime in those early days and promoted him. Not just even like we could argue whether, you know, good or bad airtime is still giving him airtime, fine, but there was no show that boosted him more, that promoted him more than Morning Joe in those early days. They fawned over him. They loved it. They relished in having that relationship with him.
I will say, I think from their perspective, at least the Democrats on there, like they thought, hey, if we boost this dipshit, he's definitely going to lose to Hillary Clinton. Because he's the guy that will for sure lose. Like maybe, you know, some other Republican may win, but Trump will definitely lose. So I think they were perfectly fine with boosting Trump at the beginning because they thought it was going to hurt the GOP, and it ended up having the opposite effect, where he was galvanized and found this audience of voters that didn't normally vote who came out to vote for him.
Yeah,
I don't think Morning Joe was thinking that way. I think they truly thought they were going to get like the businessman president, and they wanted that. They wanted
I think it
the
depends.
businessman president.
I don't think Mika Brzezinski was ever really like loved Trump. Like Joe Scarborough, you know, he was a Republican. I guess he's Democrat now. I don't know what the fuck he is, but no. I mean, Mika
Brzezinski is the same person who just a couple of weeks ago sat next to the NYPD as they held up a bike chain, and the guy said, the cop
I'm not
said,
calling her progressive.
You don't see this. You don't see this on a college campus, and she goes, no, you don't.
No, but I'm just saying this was the common sentiment among Democrats was that, hey, we should boost Trump because he's a terrible candidate. No one's going to vote for him. So we should boost strategy. Yeah, this is what they did back in 2016. They purposely boosted him because they thought that he was the worst candidate and that he would get no votes. And yeah, completely backfired.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, I remember that. I remember the whole what was it, the Pied Piper strategy, right? That's what they called it.
Pied Piper.
Yeah, it was. They're so out of touch. They're so dumb,
Yeah.
and then they go on TV and tell everybody else how they're dumb, as they are literally neck and neck with the fucking dumbest president we've ever had. I mean, give me a break.
Yeah. And speaking of Democrats being dumb, let me remind you that Democratic Party leadership, they endorsed Henry Cuellar over Jessica Cisneros. I think that she lost the primary to him in, 2022 by like less than 500 votes.
And I think it was less than 300 votes.
Oh, was it? Okay,
and
yeah.
There was a recount, less than 300 votes. She lost that primary.
Oh my God, I stand corrected. So it's even closer than I thought. And now he's being indicted because he has corrupt ties with Azerbaijan. So, I mean, congratulations, Nancy Pelosi. Like, you probably shouldn't have endorsed him just because he's anti-abortion, but now he's corrupt and you look foolish. But I mean, they don't care about how foolish they look. They will defend any Democrat. A Democrat can come out and say that they're a Nazi, and they'd re-endorse that person over the progressive just because we have to stick with our incumbents because they don't want to be the ones to actually ever get primary. They're against primary.
I remember fighting that fight. That sucks.
Yeah,
I accepted $600,000 from Azerbaijan, and they indicted me.
I wish I had that sound drop.
I did everything right, and they indicted me.
Love it.
Indicted.
Oh, somebody's saying it was 281 votes. Wow, so that was really close. So,
oh my God.
Jessica Cisneros, if you're watching this, which she's not, if you are watching this, you should run again.
You should run again. That was a good campaign.
I remember that very well because I was helping out with videos for that campaign in 2020.
So was I. Back in the day.
And it was she was a good candidate, and it's too bad.
Oh, I agree with this.
She did the work. She did the work too. She really she faced him twice. And the second time around,
campaign.
she got even closer because she was able to really get her name out there that first time, and then she continued to use that to meet with people. And that's that's what you got to do when you're running these house races. No ads, no internet. All the posting in the world isn't going to save you if you from someone who just knocks on doors and talks with the people in their district. That will win every single time.
Yeah, as this person says here, Azerbaijan's greater than Azerbaijan. I agree with that. I don't know if you wanted to watch any of the press conference from the GOP. We should probably talk a little bit about why they're holding this press conference because since the last time.
Because since we've last met, Joe Biden has switched sides.
Yeah.
He is now.
I missed?
He has donned a keffiyeh. He is currently camped out on the lawn of...
He's declared a global intifada that's happening.
He got a tattoo that said "From the river to the sea." It's a tramp stamp.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. No, he's pausing some munitions to Israel. This is what I said in my video about this. Don't give him credit just yet, because if he pauses it for 3 days and then gives it to them, then what's the point? And the reason why I think we have a right to be skeptical, aside from him lying about this issue before repeatedly, is because the State Department was set to release a report, I think on Tuesday or Wednesday, about whether or not Israel is in compliance with international humanitarian law. And that report is really important because if they find that they're not in compliance, then it's illegal under domestic law to give them weapons. Since they're not in compliance, and we all know that, they delayed that report. So them delaying that report tells me that they still want to give them weapons, because after they release that report, it is illegal to give them weapons. So that's why I'm not giving Biden applause yet. I think this is a good step in the right direction. I hope this is the start of him not giving weapons to them ever. But
okay, so
we'll have to
what I saw from Democracy Now! Is it says U.S. withholds 3,500 bombs from Israel, but it approves another $827 million in military aid at the same time. I feel like he's and a lot of world leaders are doing this. They're doing, like, Melanie Joly's doing it in Canada too. They're trying to absolve themselves of what is taking place in Rafah because they want to all be on the record of being like, oh, well, I had a hard line and I said don't do that. Publicly as well. I said please don't do that, and so that's why we at this moment in time took a stance. But like also the Israeli military already said that it has enough U.S. U.S. made munitions, bombs, weaponry to be able to do the Rafah offensive. So you can't. Biden can't pause it at this point. He could only apply pressure, right? Like he could apply pressure by people ask, what could he do? He could. Anytime he wants, like without congressional approval, recognize Palestine through diplomatic channels. He could be like, I would like to officially open U.S. diplomatic relations with what I recognize as the state of Palestine. He can do that without anyone else. He doesn't need approval from Congress. That's something the president of the United States can do. So just, I know he's not going to, but use that when people tell you he can't do anything. Like, he's powerless. He's a little small bean, you know, like he can't do anything.
I'm glad you brought that up because they are simultaneously supplying them defensive weapons. So to me, this really feels like a head fake or like some window dressing. And Biden is moving the goalposts. So he was interviewed by CNN, what is her name? Erin Burnett. I don't remember her name. But she asked him, you said that Rafah was a red line. And he said, well, they haven't entered Rafah yet. So he's kind of moving the goalpost. Even though they're in Rafah, but they're not targeting civilian populations. Like
the population centers, like that's his
population centers, right?
Yeah, he moved it to that. Yeah.
Yeah, so he's moving the goalpost, and this feels a little bit disingenuous to me. So, but having said that, though, Republicans and John Fetterman, not really a distinction there these days, are absolutely pissed off, and they're screeching at the top of their lungs. Fetterman is he needs to put on that MAGA hat.
Isn't there a quote from Fetterman where it's like, if you criticize the president, you might as well put on your MAGA hat?
Yeah, he's like, what do you have to gain? Clout to get on TV? And he goes on Fox News and criticizes Joe Biden. Get that MAGA hat on, fucker. It's probably not going to fit on your big ass head, but get it anyway, okay? So I'll pull up this. We can kind of just scan through it if you guys want to.
And by the way, the live... Just to be clear, the live from Al Jazeera announcement says Israeli forces are making their way through Rafah in the southern Gaza despite heavy international criticism. Benjamin Netanyahu saying that his country is ready to, quote, stand alone if necessary. Anyone saying that they're not actually moving on, they are. They're like, that's what's happening right now. You've already seen the footage of the tanks crossing over the border, running over the Gaza sign. Like they're doing it. It's happening. They're like the worst possible thing that everyone said should not happen is taking place, and it's not being stopped.
I love how we have to pretend like it's not actually happening. It's been happening. Like, what are we talking about? It's so disingenuous to me. So let me scan to Katie Britt. There's a cut, like they're all incredibly ridiculous. Well, we could start with Ted Cruz, I guess. But we need to have everybody bust out their bingo cards. Hamas, anti-Semitism, stand with Israel. They have the right to defend themselves. We're gonna see the same platitudes recycled over and over and over again, and they think that they're like taking turns just beating him up, but they just look like fucking imbeciles because Biden is still supporting Israel.
And they have sent billions of dollars to our enemies. It is exactly opposite what you would be doing if you were actually focused on U.S. national security interests. Let's look at our enemies. Tragically, Joe Biden has been the greatest friend the Ayatollah Khamenei has ever had on planet Earth.
Stop. So unserious.
Joe Biden has been the greatest.
That's why he got back in the Iran deal immediately after becoming president, right? Oh, wait, he didn't do that.
Friend to Hamas and Hezbollah that there is on planet Earth. Now,
I say this without hyperbole. Zero hyperbole.
What are the facts?
I like your Ted Cruz voice.
Under the Biden presidency, this administration has flowed more than $100 billion into Iran. $6 billion in ransom for 5 Americans, a policy which many of us said at the time would only lead to more Americans being taken hostage. And we saw tragically.
So this is, I should just stop because these are like 10-plus-year-old talking points. Obama was accused of giving Iran money. They're getting their own money back, like by not sanctioning them. And Biden he's not in the Iran deal. So all of these arguments are completely moot.
It was essentially there was money frozen in banks that they said they were going to release prior to October 7th in exchange for hostages, and then Iran ended up giving them hostages, and then the U.S. reneged on that deal, and then that was it. And so they didn't unfreeze their assets, and they also basically showed them once again they aren't to be trusted on the international stage, and that was the end of the story. Like, there's no conspiracy beyond that.
Can I just ask, who is this even for? Like, what is the audience for this? Because
that's true.
People, the public is not on their side. Republicans are split. Republicans are even split on this. Like I don't know who. Yeah, like what is the voting
Instantly
block?
haunting. Well, that was.
What is the point of any of this? I don't understand why they're even bothering.
Like a quarter of Republicans think that Israel is committing a genocide. A quarter of Republicans, mind you, a plurality of Americans in general. So they're just coming out here saying, "How dare you put any brakes on this genocide?" Like they're genuinely psychotic. So
I mean, the problem might be that a lot of those Republicans are like, yeah, it's genocide, and we like that. I mean, unfortunately,
unironically though, yeah. Yeah,
Well, the
so
way
she's gonna play the greatest hits.
The way I've seen the question asked though is like, do you support what is going on? And typically people in the overwhelming majority are saying no, they don't support the ongoing support of the Israeli government and what they're doing.
Right.
So again, who is this for? I don't know.
It's for the leftist mafia to watch and react to. That's basically.
Is this a scary lady?
This is. Oh, it's very soft. I'm sorry. I have it.
It is soft, yeah.
Administration continues to miss. I can't help but think they also continue to miss the opportunity.
She's doing the acting again.
It's the exact same voice.
Talk about what's happening on our college campuses.
I can't believe
about the lack of enforcement of Title VI. This administration is refusing to protect our Jewish brothers and sisters as they want to go to college.
I know the motif they're going for, scared and concerned mom kind of thing, but it just comes across as like end of days Christian nationalists, like fire and brimstone style stuff.
Yeah, it just comes off as like she's possessed. Like,
yeah, we're all gonna die.
It's like, I can't believe what is going on. Oh my God, this is so disturbing what Joe Biden is doing. Like, Jesus Christ.
It makes you so uncomfortable.
Race, denigrating someone upon race, blocking someone from a classroom wasn't okay in the 1960s. Do you hear me? And it is not okay today.
What are you talking about?
What is she talking about?
That? She's talking about that one kid.
She's reversing the situation. How about the protests in the 60s that were taking over buildings? How about those against the Vietnam War and for civil rights? Like, well, how about those protests? Like what? Like, what?
I am so
this is just the way they like try to maneuver history and like massage it to make their point where it makes no fucking sense is amazing. Just so amazing.
Yeah, they've all gotten so much mileage out of that one video of that kid who's like, man, they won't let me get to my class. Turns out that dude is like an agitator. He's trying to start shit with them, but they've used the fuck out of that one anecdote again and again and again. And they're like, oh my God, this is like the 1930s. It's like, stop being so hyperbolic with this because it really is disgusting. Like the way that you just like pretend as if these are Nazis on campus. Like that really undermines actual anti-Semitism, which is an increasing problem.
And by the way, there's numerous articles at this point that have shown that there is a danger to Jewish students and Jewish teachers. Like Jewish teachers are getting tackled by racists. They're police. It's the police.
Yeah.
The cops are actually tackling Jewish faculty to the ground and zip tying them. They're hitting Jewish students who are protesting. Like they are attacking them. You can see it with your own eyes every single day when you watch the footage of it. It's fucked.
John Stewart actually talked about it, which was awesome. Like they tackled a Jewish. Oh, John Oliver. Yeah, excuse me. That's the one I was talking about. Different John, not Azerbaijan, but John Oliver. No, but he talked about that Jewish teacher that literally teaches like Jewish studies, and she was tackled by the cops. It's just they're so unserious. They have to lie because that's the only way their base is going to accept what they're saying. Otherwise, it's just untenable.
She was once the head of the Jewish faculty department, and she got. She's the one who got tackled to the ground. That you saw the police doing that, and then zip tied, like right after.
Wow. Well, she shouldn't have been anti-Semitic. I'm sure that's why.
True. Yep.
True. What else they're failing to learn from? I mean, yesterday we celebrated 79 years since VE Day, the victory there in Europe, liberating Europe from Nazi terror. Earlier this week, we honored those 6 million Jews that died in the Holocaust. We are at a place in this country, a Harvard-Harris poll just came out, where it said between the ages of 18 and 29, 1 in 5 of those individuals don't believe the Holocaust even existed. And on that note, I think it's important that we continue to tell the story of October 7th, because somehow that has gotten lost. Senator Graham led a delegation to Israel. We sat across from Israeli leaders. we watched the footage, the horrifying footage of those Hamas terrorists with the GoPro cameras strapped to their heads and their chest. When we talked to the Israeli officials, we mentioned 9/11, and they said, yes, it's similar, but I want you to understand why it's different. You were able to wake up on September 12th and tell your kids that the perpetrator was oceans away. We woke up on October 8th, and the people who want to eradicate this entire population are just miles down the road.
Meanwhile, Israel are the ones eradicating an entire population.
Yeah.
Like we don't need to listen to more of this bullshit. This is just this is just the same talking points. Oh, this is the same shit over and over again. It's all ahistorical. It's all inaccurate. It's just
they flip reality on its head.
It's disgusting.
So Lindsey Graham, I don't know. We don't have to listen to this, but he has been the borderline emotional, like on the verge of tears. Like he's really being a drama queen about the situation. He's pretending like Israel is going to be wiped off the planet because Biden denied some munitions. They're just, listen, it comes back to all these people right here. They are funded by defense contractors. So any war is good for them because it's good for their donors who fund their campaigns. On top of that, they're all bankrolled by AIPAC. So they're lying. They're just liars. I'm preaching to the
I asked the question earlier,
I mean?
who's this for? I asked the question earlier, who's this for? It's for their donors, obviously. Like, yeah,
Right.
It's not for any sort of
Yeah.
voting block. It's for the people that are paying them.
Exactly. Yeah. Great point. Because this is just, it's performative. That's why I think they keep holding these dumbass votes on the House floor. You know, these resolutions that we're seeing condemning this and that, anti-Semitism on college campuses, Rashida Tlaib. Like, it's just virtue signaling to AIPAC saying, I'm with you, I'm loyal. It's an election year. I would like some more money. Daddy, money me now. Money me. That's what this is about.
It's my money and I want it now.
I'm just so sick of these ghouls.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it is exhausting to watch these guys, especially these guys on the right who were like literally either looking the other way or openly supporting the fascist far right, the anti-Semites in the far right, the Groypers, the Pepes, the merchant. What is the merchant called again? The fucking that shitty meme, the anti-Semitic meme, all that shit. These guys are all into that. Their entire base is into that shit.
Mm-hmm.
That one, what's her name? Katie Britt, is that who that woman is? The
crying one?
Yeah,
Katie
so
Britt,
she mentioned how 1 in 5 people don't believe the Holocaust, actually happened. I would like to know who those people are voting for and who they're supporting because they're Republicans. It's like, how could you? Why are you pitting that on people fighting for human rights? Are you fucking stupid? Well, you are fucking stupid, but you're also disingenuous. It's so gross.
Yeah, the party that panders to neo-Nazis is calling everybody else Nazis now. It's very, very ironic. But Democrats are helping to perpetuate this too. Richie Torres, another one. He's like, oh, Biden's doing this to pander to the far left. Like, they make it seem as if he made this drastic shift in policy by pausing some weapons. And again, he's probably going to give the weapons to them by Sunday or some shit. Like, nobody is buying it who actually cares about this. But it's just, the disingenuity is over the top.
When you think about it, though, Joe Biden's recent turn joining Hamas makes a lot of sense when you consider his speech that the left rightly criticized, but it's now starting to make a lot more sense. The one where he said that Hamas is driven by ancient desires to kill Jewish people.
Ancient.
I mean,
20-year-old organization.
Right. But I mean, now that I think about it, with Joe Biden's recent turn where he has now joined Hamas, how does he know about those desires? Well, he himself is ancient. He's got those desires himself, perhaps. There we go. There's the turn.
That's how it happens.
Yeah. Hey, Rebecca.
Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you guys?
Doing well.
Good.
I love your shirt. You always have like amazing shirts. You and Matt.
Yeah, look, I collect. So I go to
Love
like
it.
the men's section. and I'll collect from like the kids section. It's cheaper there. I'll collect like any little t-shirts, or from my man, I'll have like a lot of sweaters and stuff like that. So yeah, I do. Nice. I see haircuts all over the screen. Okay, haircuts.
Oh yeah, I got a haircut.
Yeah, did we all get haircuts?
All of you guys look like you.
Actually,
no,
did we all get a haircut?
No,
I think we did.
I got a haircut.
Oh, everyone except for Lance. That's so bizarre. We all got haircuts the same way.
Keep that. Lance be on it.
It's just I put some water, a little water.
Okay, it looks fresh.
I'm nicely. Yeah,
Lance wakes up like this. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what it is. But, yeah, I see. You know what made you go short, Matt? What made you go short?
Oh, I every like 4 months I cut it short just to refresh the actual hair. Not to
like a dog
actually keep a short hairstyle, but just so when it grows long again.
He actually goes to a dog groomer.
Yeah.
No, everybody's looking good. Okay, I came on. I'm like, okay, haircuts. You see, haircuts, right? What they do, they lift the face for men. I feel like it does something. It refreshes. It starts over. It makes a man feel good. I see y'all all smiling on here.
It does, honestly. Yeah, actually, that's like the main reason why I get a haircut. Because I feel like I can't shoot videos with my I just look all terrible.
Yeah,
I look like shoveled.
I disagree.
I need to be cleaned up here.
Same, David.
I need the hair. I just need to. My hair gets very at a certain point. It starts to curl and it gets very. It's not. I don't like how it feels. So I gotta cut it so the new fresh hair grows in, and then I keep that long for as long as
all the split ends gone. Just keeping it.
I hate how that feels.
That's my beard approach. Yeah,
that's the main.
I actually had to cut my hair because I did a photo shoot with my mom for Mother's Day.
Okay, photo shoot.
I put the picture in my so when I turn off my camera, you could see it. It's a picture of me and my mom.
Your mom is adorable.
Yeah, that's my mom.
Look
everyone.
at the doggies.
Wait, that's not your mom.
Oh, that is not your mom. That is not your mom. You see, my heart is so pure.
Is it Carrie Lake?
White people
It's Carrie Lake, isn't it?
I was so racist. I was just like, that is his mama. That is not that man's mama, Rebecca.
Actually, I'm a little bit worried about. I'm a little bit worried about what my first thought was. Actually, I saw that and I was like, Mike, your mom's looking good. How old is she?
Wow.
Wow.
She's looking young to have a son in her in his 30s. She's looking good. She's looking young.
What possessed you to make that?
She has a pug, and I have pictures with my pug. I'm like, it would be cool to make a picture of me photoshopped with Carrie Lake. I'm gonna do that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay.
I just do stupid shit like that. I can't explain it. I'm a child.
and you said, who is that in the picture?
It's Carrie Lake.
Carrie Lake.
The white black lady?
No, the crazy one from Arizona.
Yes, I'm like
the Trumper.
That lady is black, low-key. I feel like she's not.
Is that a thing? I didn't know that.
The lady with the short hair and like there's like a conspiracy. Let me look her up to make sure I'm not giving y'all fake news. But
it's the
Are you thinking of Rachel Dolezal?
No, Rachel Dolezal is a white woman that wears green.
Yeah, I was like, Rachel Dolezal, I know for sure.
And she identifies as black.
Unironically, though, my mom does look a lot like Carrie Lake when my mom was younger.
Carrie Lake is the one I'm talking about. This woman, there's some kind of if you guys look it up, there's like, and this is just rumors, of course, but I know she made a lot of terrible takes, and I was like, is she black? I'm just staring at her. Is she black? Because we come in all colors. We're not a monolith. We have different shades. But I'm like, that lady is black. So I started, just seeing what people were saying online. And a lot of people were like, we know what it is. We live in Arizona. We know the truth about her family. Like people in the comment section and stuff.
Really?
But
I didn't know any of this.
She gives me features. That's all I know. And people say she's passing. People show like, what her family allegedly looks like, the real one, and she says she's passing, but that's just a rumor. Let me let y'all know that's just a rumor. But when I see
down a rabbit hole,
something in me tells
I'm
me
in
that
some pretty weird websites.
There's
a lot on this.
Be careful, Lance.
There's a big conspiracy theory online.
Yeah, huge.
Once you begin speculating about someone's race, usually it's not going to be a good place that you're going to go down.
Yeah, you'll end up in some strange places on the internet. That's true.
And then it's
Or start race investigations, trans investigations. It's a dangerous, slippery slope.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Okay, so my bad. I didn't mean to come over here with conspiracy, but I did. Your haircuts are great, guys, and that's that. And I don't know why you got that lady up with the dog. But you said it's because of the pugs. And that's
I mean, honestly, when you brought that photo, like now that I think about it, it looks like all 4 of the guys on this on this feed literally went to the barbershop and said, "Give me the Carrie Lake, please."
It's really giving that. Hey, let me get Carrie Lake.
A little shorter on the sides. A little shorter.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I gotta find the. Oh, actually, I'll just post the picture to Instagram, and then we could pull it up. Yeah.
Oh, not my camera dying already. That means
what's happening?
No, I got it. It's the battery, guys. No, but you guys go ahead and have your discussion. I'm right here. Give me a second. Let me get it together.
I think we're out of topics. What else is left?
I know.
Well, I totally ignored it this week. I didn't know if any of you talked about it, the whole Trump trial. I was like, I don't care.
Oh,
though.
yeah.
Like, I'll care during the
very hard
sentencing,
time
but-
caring.
I'll care when they're sentencing. That's
Right. The ins and outs are just so monotonous to me, and I just
even the Stormy
can't.
Daniels stuff, where it's like she's like talking about sex with Trump. I'm just like, I don't
want to hear that.
I don't want to hear it.
I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah. I don't want to be groomed. This is disgusting.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Oh, there is this very weird video. I actually saved it for us to play, where apparently it's just like Fox News recording Trump as he comes out of the trial, and he like just stops and like does a off the cuff, well, it looks like interview to the camera without anyone there. But it's so bizarre because if you look, like everyone behind him suddenly stops and turns to the camera. It feels so weird. Here, watch. It's so bizarre.
I haven't seen this.
It almost feels like a planned, like scripted commercial, but it's just like him in front of the courthouse after he comes out to Fox News. It's so weird. No, start from the beginning. Yeah. Watch everyone in the back too. It's so weird.
I don't think we have to do any explaining. I'm not allowed to anyway because this judge is corrupt. He's a corrupt judge. This judge, what he did and what his ruling was is a disgrace. Everybody saw what happened today. He's a corrupt judge and he's totally conflicted. And I got to get back on the campaign trail. I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah, everyone, this is as loud as they can make it, I think.
It's also an issue like that. So he's been doing these, I guess they're interviews, whatever the fuck they're called, every single day. And he's never mic'd up. They never have like a boom mic there or anything. The audio is always shitty on every single one of these. So it's not even just my fault.
Yeah, that's
like
weird.
how weird is how weird is like the shot and like the depth
that's his
of
legal
field.
team
It looks like
in the background.
It looks like I don't think they're really far behind him.
I guess it's odd,
know.
but they've been doing this for
It's
like a
very
week now, so
weird.
I'm just used to seeing it. But yeah, there's like I think they're behind a barrier. That's what it looks like. Yeah,
I think
like
they just want to be
somewhere
on camera too. Like that's why they're all stopping to face it. They want to get their 15 seconds.
Weird.
I like how the fact he's all just like shit talking the judge. We don't even like care because it's of course he's judge.
Yeah,
well, he's on his like what ninth
it doesn't even register
gag
for us.
order or something like that, and it's like it's that weird thing where the judge could take action, but he doesn't want to because it'll just cause a firestorm if he puts like a full on like.
It's just so exhausting. It's so exhausting because we know anybody else in his situation.
Oh, I know.
Would have been in jail a long time ago. This is like so it all just feels so futile because like this doesn't follow the normal legal process that everyone else has to go through.
Yeah.
So we see the rest of this. Is there anything of value?
I thought it was funny. Yeah, I don't think he says anything really.
Read every single analyst, legal analyst.
Okay, it's all rigged. They're all rigged. They're all against me.
We need every legal analyst.
Everything right, and they indicted me.
Yeah, he did everything right, and they indicted him. That's just
so I have a clip actually too. Sorry.
No, I was going to say it's the weirdest one for him to try and claim this is like a deep state thing when it's like that this was you paying off someone because you didn't want your wife to find out you were fucking someone else. Like that's what this one is.
And someone else, Michael Cohen, already went to jail for this. Like, this is not like fabricated. Somebody already had to be in prison. It's very bizarre.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have a video of Elon Musk. He was, I don't know what event he was at, but he was like trying to pose and play up to the camera, and somebody made a Sims character that has the same exact like mannerisms and expressions. Yeah.
It's good meme.
Oh, I've seen this too, but it's worth playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do full screen.
There we go.
You need sound.
Oh, is it okay to
sound on this?
There we go.
There's the game's music.
Oh yeah, put it lower though in case they copyright strike.
Oh yeah, then don't bother.
Copyright claim.
Because you know
game
we
music
did.
won't copyright.
It's not worth it. Game music should be fine unless it's copyrighted music.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Uncanny. Like, what the fuck is he doing though?
What?
Seriously.
How is he this happy? He's not a
Right?
good person.
I don't know. No,
He just
maybe
loves
it's the ketamine.
attention.
It's probably the ketamine.
Well, it's
Oh,
yeah.
that's a good point, Lance.
I mean, we've seen his
Weird
tweets. He's
dude.
not happy. He's not happy.
I mean,
with
yeah,
this.
he's not happy, but just to be outside and he's just weird. He's awkward. People that are, you know,
He's probably happy not to be on the phone.
He's just awkward. This is they
Yeah.
all of these men in power
Yeah.
who are very abusive. They're just weird
Yeah.
when they're around people or whatever the case may be. My camera might die again. I kind of rigged it, but just stay with me here. Yeah, they like those people who are in power. Every time we see them in those spaces, like on the red carpet or whatever, they just are so awkward. Donald Trump, who we see, is just an awkward.
Yeah, he doesn't know how to
person.
stand.
No,
Mhm.
what's his
Right.
name? Ron DeSantis, Ronaldo.
Yeah,
He
he
is
doesn't know how to be a
very-
human.
No, yeah. He's just. Even if you guys have watched like how they're doing AI, because I know this is so random, but with all these, you know, people that we're seeing, like how we just saw how they can put that in the digital space and stuff with people at the Met Gala, I guess. People didn't show up, and then people just started putting online people who weren't there in AI outfits, and it looked so real.
Oh, I
and
saw that, Rebecca.
Yeah, they're putting that, and I think this is why I say AI can be so dangerous, because they were putting it out at first with no context. So you see on Threads, on Twitter, they were posting, "Oh, Rihanna finally showed up, Beyonce showed up," all of this stuff, and people were reposting
And they're fake
it.
photos.
Yeah, and they're fake photos. They don't even have, when AI was
wow.
first coming out, like the little 3 fingers or the little something that showed that it was AI. It looks so real, and people were just posting it. Some fashion pages were posting it and thinking that it was true, it was real.
Wow.
And it was. I think AI could just be so dangerous in that way. There was and I want to get the story right. I can't remember it exactly, but just recently, somebody got another person in trouble in their workspace by recording the person's voice, utilizing it for AI, and they were spewing out things, and they used that to get the person fired. Now the company found out, and now that person, I think, is looking at jail time for it or something like that. But this is how dangerous AI can be. And we've talked about you know, how people are mimicking voices. Sometimes you'll get a call and just you saying a few words like, "Hello, who is this? Hello, is anybody there?" They grab your voice and then they utilize it for voice recognition if that's how you have it set up for your accounts or stuff like that. And I just think about how beautiful AI can be and how helpful it can be, but then there's that dark side to it. And I took a course last year learning about AI because I wanted to, you know, get in front of it and all this kind of stuff. And when I was learning about it, they were telling us the negatives about it and how, like, the Chat GPT people were saying, like, there's nothing we can do. We know all of these things that can come of it, but at that time last year, there was like, there's nothing that we can do for real about it, about the abuse that people are going to do to it, because we know these are the things that can happen, but right now there's nothing set in place for us to really rectify that. Like, there's nothing, there's no gatekeeping. There's anybody can just use it and boom. Like, I've had it where, and I'll tell y'all this, like a few years ago, and I guess people were privy to this kind of work and yada yada. Somebody called me, and I'm so sensitive, as you guys can see. I'm a sensitive person, and my oldest brother, his name is Pasito, and I met him for the first time in the physical since I was a baby, because he finally got an opportunity to move to the country, and I love him like nobody's business. And so when I moved from New York, you know, we keep in touch all the time. It's my brother. Somebody called me, and you see, again, so don't laugh at me about this story. A guy called, and he sounded just like my brother. the person knew that my brother was foreign and utilized my brother's voice. And from some of his videos, put it together and was like, "We got your brother," and something like my brother saying like, "Hey, you know, it is me. Just listen to what he's saying." Like they put words together, and then it was like, "We got him hostage, and if you don't give money up, they got me, baby. They got me.
Incredibly serious.
They got me, baby. They got me." I'm like, "No, not my brother." They're like, "Yeah," and then they're like, you know, then they were speaking the language too, and they were going back and forth, and they were like, "We're gonna hurt him." They gave an address that was similar to his, all types of stuff. And I was just like, "What do you guys need?" It's like, "We need this." Now at that time I was broke. And I, you know, like broker, that like a little, you know, just graduated, you know, for a master's degree. You ain't got no money. You ain't got no money. You're looking for work, all of that. And they're calling me and telling me, "If you don't get this money, whatever the case may be, we're gonna do X, Y, and Z to your brother." They got me, okay? And they were like, and I said, "Just can I talk to him, please? I just want to talk to my brother." And they were like they act like they hit him, all kinds of stuff, but they utilized his true voice. And I really
so fucked up.
So I called
really
the police,
messed up.
and they were like, "Ma'am," it happened so much that I called the police, and the lady was like, "Ma'am, that's not your brother." I said, "Well, how do you know? Can somebody go to the address and like do a wellness check, something like I know this is my brother." And they were like, "Have you tried to reach out?" And I said, "I did try to reach my brother. He wasn't picking up. It was going straight to voicemail." And she was just like, "Ma'am, we'll go and do a wellness check, but I'm telling you that wasn't your brother. They're doing." She's like, "There's a technology out there that's being used, da da da." And then when I finally got to reach my brother, he was like, "Hey, you okay?" I'm like, "I was calling you. I was, you know, trying to figure out where you were and what you were doing." And da, da, da. He's like, "That wasn't me. That wasn't me.
That's
I'm here.
so
I'm
scary.
okay." But
That is horrifying.
I was so
that's
scared.
elaborate because they'd have to know who you are, your relationship
Yes,
with your
like
brother.
they were like
and get
watching
his
me
voice,
and
and then
such.
you
It
start
had to be.
manipulating you.
It had to
Yeah.
be. And they knew certain
Holy shit.
information. It was like that. And it was that was a scary time. But I'm like, dang, like they look, I'm always somebody who I always say I get got. You know, they gonna get me because I'm like, "Oh my gosh, like, well, what do you need?" Like, it was just the whole thing.
Don't answer your phone.
This is what I say. I don't answer my phone. I don't answer my phone.
Yeah.
If
ever,
I'll listen to the
I
messages.
don't either.
I never answer my phone.
Yeah, 100%. Yep. I never ever answer unless it's my mom. I answer for my mom.
Yeah.
But everything else goes to voicemail.
At that time, like when you're looking for work, you got to keep your phone on. And that phone number it's been with me for a long time. So spam, bill collectors, you know, a lot of things were attached to it. I finally changed my phone number for the first time since I was like 21. And now I changed my phone number just like a month ago. And so this phone don't ring. It don't do nothing. Like nobody is reaching out or anything like that. It's a sad look. It's a sad happy case here. But yeah, I finally changed it because I was getting people acting like Zelle. What's that other app? There's like all these money apps were calling
Venmo, Cash App.
Venmo is the one that they would call and continuously call back to back to back, and even send to the phone to accept a code. And they would do it back to back to back to back to back to back like, continuously. And I thought that was so crazy because I don't have Venmo, but it was calling with the system that sounded legit. And then so would send it to my email and would send it to my phone number. And yeah, it's all like it's AI has gotten super scary, and I don't know how they're going to be able to control it because now there's no way now to decipher, especially
it got you. Oh no,
they got me. But there's no way I'm gonna change out the battery again. It's gonna be like that all night, y'all.
You were speaking too much truth, and then they just took down the feed.
Truth. But I feel like there's no way to like really decipher what that is, especially on apps like Facebook, because the older people, they're the ones that they get attacked the most when it comes to this.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to
my grandma would totally believe if she got a phone call and someone was using a voice to sound like me or you know, my brother or something like that. Like, my grandma's so easy. Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I was my Uber driver one time. She was telling me a nice, sweet old white lady. She was so kind, and she was just like, you know, I have to do this because you know I lost a lot of money because I thought I owed. Somebody kept writing my phone and sending my phone and sending me, and she's like, it was coming through an email that looked just like the banking institution that I use, and they told me I needed to pay my credit card bill, and if I did not pay this whole bill, they would come for my home and things like that. And she said I definitely was behind, but I had just had surgery, and so I thought I needed to go ahead and pay it to keep it. So she paid it, and she paid it again, but then they kept that information and they kept taking money from her account. So I think by this time, she said she sent over $8,000 they took from her in total, and she said there was nothing that the bank could do, nothing. So she had to do the Uber all day, and she was driving from like long city rides. She didn't care, and I felt so bad. Yeah, they'll get them. They'll get them, of course, and of course they're easy targets because they're not always knowledgeable about the technology or whatever. Sometimes they're still using mail to send out checks and things like that for their payments. And so that's why I think it's really important that a lot of these places like financial institutions, however these older people are starting to pay their bills, like do courses with these older people to show them that how fraud can look, especially in this day of AI.
We also need AI to protect them from AI.
Yes, we do.
Good AI.
Yeah.
We need the good AI to look after them and then defend them from the evil AI.
Yeah.
So that AI breaks down and then takes over.
Yep.
On the subject of the Met Gala AI photos, I saw a photo of Elon Musk with a trans flag suit, and it looked real. I knew it was fake because he would never wear that.
Yeah.
But it looked real.
They look so authentic. They could take our pictures. My dad used to say back in the day, like, I don't want my pictures online because people could take. He says back in the day, I don't want my pictures online. And now, like, my pictures is all over the place. And so they can utilize photos to replicate you or whatever. Somebody sent me an HBCU photo that was done, and they were like, it looks like somebody used your face in this AI. And I looked at it and I was like, oh my God, that looks just like me. And I graduated from an HBCU. So I look at it and I'm like, dang, did they take my photos? But our photos are everywhere, and they can just take your likeliness and utilize it for whatever. I remember when they were doing it on Snapchat. This was a few months ago, where a lot of the ladies were doing the pregnancy and the marriage ones. And I thought that those are great, but it affects you. To me, filters are, I ain't gonna lie, I like a good smoother. But
it's taking your photo and it's putting it in a database, right?
And I think it messes up people's minds though. Like mentally, like you are putting yourself in a place where possibly you have a disease where you can never have a baby. And then you're taking this picture, and I feel like it's messing you up because you're viewing yourself in a way that you will never be. But they had one with the babies where they were saying what your baby would look like. Now, my sister did one and she sent me a whole bunch of photos. I'm looking at these pictures and they started
baby picture.
Yeah, but they started to look like they started to get a little pedophilia.
I want to see what my baby looks like.
They started to get a little pedophilia like on
Mike, don't do it.
Not Snapchat. It was TikTok. They went from having the little kids in little dresses to little girls and their chests showing and little
I hate that.
Little like panties that were like looked like in their little spaces and they're in their personal spaces that didn't look appropriate. And I'm like, this is getting a little sketchy. And people were posting, and I'm like, that's a little girl that you're posting with her little bottom out and her chest showing. And
is
then
like an app, like
it was on TikTok when they was doing this. Like it was like last year.
Oh, like when they were doing the whole
Yeah, it was to me. I'm like, you guys are really letting, like, are you not guys? You guys aren't looking at whoever made this app is weird in their head.
Yeah,
like this is strange.
It utilizes like whatever photos you feed it and then just spits out.
Yeah,
I feel like they would have parameters like blocking that sort of thing, because if you use like DALL-E, for example, like you can't use anyone's likeness. So you would think that they would have protections against something like that.
They've gotten more careful. When DALL-E first rolled out, I don't think it had those protections because it didn't initially. Yeah, so they've added some of that stuff in since people obviously are using it for weird or in weird ways.
Yeah, it's just scary because everybody has their face online, and people can just take it and use your likeness for whatever. I don't know if you all saw, people actually did this with us, with our faces. So like there's a video of like Matt as Danny Trejo It's like a video. You can tell it's fake.
I feel really called out right now, but I'm not going to say anything. That may have been me.
The intro.
Whoever did that really
talking about the
weird.
intro video.
Mm-hmm.
What a bizarre
Rebecca
thing to
is
do.
Wonder
What a weird
Woman.
individual.
Yeah, I like the intro. It's funny. The way, but that one, it's like, these people can really make us look like we're. I don't know. It gets crazy. I don't mind our intro, whatever. But people are getting crazy. That's why when I get on Snapchat, I'm a little old school too. I don't use anything that really shifts my face for me to look like I'm not who I am. Like a good, like I said, a little soft, when you want to get real cute, like a little, a little blush on it, whatever. I don't like when it completely changes my face.
Some of them are so twisted. Like my mom, she put a filter. She was showing me, hey, did you see this picture? And like she looked like a fucking 12-year-old. Like, mom, what the fuck? Like, how much filters did you put a filter on top of the filter? Like, that's honestly creepy because it didn't look like a human.
Mm-hmm. No,
and she thought it was like, oh no, I think it looks pretty. I'm like, mom, like it looks demonic.
People
like, what the fuck?
It's me as a kid.
People are you get you get out of reality
already.
Like people want to see themselves young. The older people want to see themselves young.
Yeah.
Some people were doing the challenge where it was making you look older or it was aging you over time as the you recorded. And some people were doing it with their, and this is the weird part of the social media. You make these emotional moments and then they're doing it with their parents. And their parents are getting emotional because they'll never see their child get this age. Why are you doing that to your parents?
Oh, that's
that's kind of mean to do.
I
That to your parents.
That was a challenge. And I'm like,
I'm sure the parent would, wanted to see it.
They all were emotional. Everybody's older parent was like, oh my God, you really are gonna get older at some point in time. Like I'm like, y'all just be making challenges, just hurting y'all old folks, hurting the kids, hurting yourselves, because you would never look
it's
like
all for
this.
engagement. And
Yeah,
people,
that's true
that
too.
millions of people see it. I saw that too, and I don't even use TikTok, but that somehow came up in my feed. Like, no, this is really sad.
So TikTok, that's where I see a lot of, and engagement is great. I like some of the TikTok is great for a lot of things, but then I see some things on there that can be very I just feel like, the filter thing, the AI thing, it just can get crazy. And then it's like you don't look like this, and your body probably will never be like that, and it's okay. And I think
we're kind of being conditioned to like not accept just like things that are part of life. Like you're gonna have wrinkles as you get older, your hair is gonna turn gray, and that's okay. We're all self-conscious to a degree, but like these apps that change your face, like I find it so creepy. Especially like I guess it depends. Like there's some that are more subtle and they just do like a little bit of touch up and whatnot.
Nice
I think even on this app, you can like on StreamYard, you can actually increase like
the soft
amount
focus.
Just filter us up. Come on, give us candy.
Yeah, I think you can.
There is something.
Yeah, let me.
How about
let me
real
actually
time?
see.
Can you do it right now?
Yeah, I want to see. Like, look, this is my real
do
face.
this.
This is my real skin. Ain't no filter on it right now.
Touch
So-
up my appearance. I'm gonna
Yeah, there
click
we
it,
go.
See what happens.
I'm doing it.
wow!
Smooth.
I mean, it's giving smooth skin. It's
Yeah.
wow.
How do I look?
Who's that 15-year-old? Who's that?
I just did my
I like
makeup, as you
that.
can see.
It's giving full face. It's giving full foundation. A little rosy
Yeah,
on
this
the
is-
cheeks. Yeah,
It's a little bizarre.
you had good sleep.
Oh, I don't. I look plastic. I
That's
hate
true.
it.
Yeah.
It looks like you
I'm
had a
back
good
to my
sleep.
ugly old face.
Yeah,
Nope.
I'd rather just see the wrinkles, the scars.
True. You'll get
Oh,
used
I'm
to it. It's like a
hideous.
drug.
Look away.
And then with that too. Now when we're doing the filters, and then you get on these dating apps because the men is on they on it too. It's not just catfishing anymore. Now they all filter in too. And you'll meet somebody and they don't look anything like themselves, and have a few
That's
pictures on there
wild.
where you look like yourself. Because
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that to yourself. Like,
Yeah,
if you're gonna
I
meet
right.
people, why do you want to give like?
You fell in love when I tricked
if
you?
anything, share the worst version
Right.
of yourself in those pictures, so they're
Yeah.
really impressed when
Right.
they see you.
yeah, no, because
Yeah,
when they see
That's how
them,
you should
Exactly.
be doing.
I've
Yeah,
heard a lot
exactly.
of
They're
men-
like, whoa, oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
oh my god, you look way better in person.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they'll say there's this lady that said that her date, this was something I saw on social media. She was on there, and this could have been for engagement as well, because they like to tell these stories, child. But she was telling her story, and she stated that the guy met me, and he stayed for the meal. He respected it. He stayed for the meal, and when it was done, he was just like, I don't want to see you again. and I apologize, but you don't. Oh, here we go.
Doesn't want to see you either.
Right.
That timing was really good.
It's terrible, but he said that I don't want to see you again. You don't look like your pictures. And then she went online and people went to her page and they were like, ma'am, you really don't. You were posting things that didn't look anything like you. So they, you can't be too upset because people are like, oh, he's picking and choosing. This is body shaming. But he never said anything about her body. He just said, you don't look like what your pictures look like. And they went to her pictures and she was a little bigger, she wasn't like, the Instagram model shape or whatever. And they were saying, oh, it's because how she looks. No, that's how you guys are perceiving it. And so, it gets crazy. It gets crazy.
It reminds me of that. What was that dating show on Netflix? But like the last season, there was a girl who's like, oh, I look like Megan Fox, and she doesn't look like Megan. Oh my goodness, that was that like,
pod show.
Why are you gonna set this dude up to make him think you look like Megan Fox?
I remember this. I don't think she said. She didn't say that though.
She said that
people.
She said she looks like Machine Gun Kelly's girlfriend. So
no,
that's Megan Fox.
That. She said people say that.
But she was like, no, but she said,
which is even worse.
She said,
that's even worse to say other people say that.
No, she said, people say I look like that. But she said, I look like, a celebrity too. And, people say, and he said, who? She said, well, people say that I look like, Megan Fox.
Even if that's true, I don't think you should tell the person. A little bit.
Yeah, I can see it a little bit when she was, she was beautiful. Y'all don't think she looked like her?
No,
I don't know who this person is, but I feel like if you say that,
he didn't either. He didn't think so either.
You just set a specific picture and raise this expectation, and if
it's just
you don't meet that, then they're going to be disappointed.
It's not fair to you. It's not fair to them. Like it just
Although on that show, I could be like, I actually look like a celebrity, and they'd be like, oh, who? I'm like, Matt Walsh. Have you heard of him?
People say I look like, and I will say right now, I kind of am giving a little bit, but have you guys watched Martin?
Yeah.
The show? And they'll say that I look like Tashina Arnold, who was Pam on the show.
I don't remember. It's been too long.
That's the one. Yeah, if y'all Google her, her name is Tashina Arnold. And I ended up years ago when I was in college. There's a picture when she was on Everybody Hates Chris. She was the mom.
Okay, I remember her.
Yeah, there's a picture that she had with her hair tied, and
I see it a little bit.
Yeah, I had my hair. That's what they say. They say I look just like her. They say I look just.
I don't think you look just like her. I think that
you don't look like her, like how she looks today. But
from the show, right? From the show. And so I wrote and I said, people say, I look like her. I wish I had the picture. I would send it to y'all. People say I look like her. What do you guys think? I don't think so. On my little Instagram back in the day when you used to get 11 likes, and that was the big deal, right? And it got to her. And she was like, she wrote underneath it and said, damn, is that so bad to look like me? Oh my God.
What the hell?
I was like, oh.
What?
How'd that get back to her?
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I don't really see it though, but she's like, that's not like bad. Like
I don't really see it either, to be honest.
No, from the show. If you go from the show and you put in Pam from Martin from that
there's
time.
a very slight. I wouldn't like. I think she's beautiful. Say like, oh, that like comes right to my mind. Like it's a little bit.
Oh yeah, maybe slightly. Yeah, I could maybe.
She's beautiful to me. And then some people give me I don't see that at all. I think she's gorgeous too. Maybe voice wise, because my voice is raspy. But look, here I go, sound like that lady from the pods, Regina King. People say that.
Regina King. People are saying that in the chat. I was like, people were saying Regina King in the chat. I was like,
oh yeah, that's what people say. They'll say Regina King, and I think she's beautiful too. All these women are beautiful and they're black, but I think it's because I'm dark skin, I'm chocolate with the long face, so they'll associate me with all those people. So, but they're all beautiful. They're all gorgeous. But yeah.
Cool. So we have to name our celebrity lookalikes since we I said Matt Walsh, you said just normal people. I said Arnold. A demon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Who else is? We already know that Lance is Brendan Fraser. What about David and Matt?
When I was younger, multiple people. I don't know if this is less the case now, but multiple people like in different situations said I look like Josh Hartnett, but that was like when
Josh Hartnett. Let me look at this. White people.
He's a very great person.
Let me see.
I don't
Josh
know. I don't really see it.
Look, I don't really see it. Okay, let me see. Oh, I can see it a little bit.
I remember
I can see it.
I was in line for the Nintendo Wii This is like 5 a.m. when it was first releasing, and a guy in line was like, "You like?"
I was in line for that too, David. Oh my god.
Were you?
Yeah, for like 5 hours.
I can see
Yeah,
that.
it was like a few hours for me.
I honestly don't see it.
Yeah, I don't.
No, back in the day. It's
When I was younger, maybe a little more, but I don't think I look like him.
Let me see. 90s. Josh Hartnett.
Well, no, maybe. Well, you can't see. Can you see 2000s, David?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know.
It's not giving. It's not giving. Somebody said David looks like Trudeau.
I don't see Josh Hartnett either. No.
They said that you like Justin Trudeau.
Oh yeah, you could be Justin Trudeau's son.
I don't
maybe.
look like Justin Trudeau.
You do love blackface.
You don't want to claim it, but that's what the people are saying.
Isn't that what Sahil is saying? That progressive voice. He's saying that was your uncle or some shit.
Yeah, he's like my uncle or something. Yeah. Somebody like believed him. Like, are you fucking stupid?
Somebody also said that, or they believed because Sahil said that I borrowed his Nintendo Switch or he borrowed my Nintendo Switch and wouldn't
give it
return
back.
it. And they were like, why won't you give? I'm like, what the fuck? He's joking. Shut the fuck up. Like, are you serious?
Sahil is the original progressive troll. That's what he's changed his name to. Progressive troll.
Yeah, yeah.
Who do you look like, Matt?
I would get Prince a lot.
The singer
Prince.
Prince.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I would.
singer, the black
I can see with the haircut.
The black
People would
man.
say I'm big Prince. Yeah, big dead ass.
Sorry, what?
I got that. I would get Prince. I would get Mick Jagger.
You look like fucking Prince.
Okay, no, I pulled up Prince.
Mick Jagger,
and
damn,
you know,
that's...
I'm looking at Prince. And when you just like that there like this, I see just when you do like that, just turn your head to the
Someone
side,
said
I
Pete
see a little
Davidson.
bit.
That's good.
I'm not joking.
And then
People would say it to
that
me,
is
man. I
good.
don't know what else to say.
And, you know,
You look like fucking Prince.
Let me pull up an old photo of me. Let me see if I can pull up an old
pull up
photo
an
of
old
me.
photo. But you know when I pulled up
I
Prince.
see the Prince era.
Someone says I look
Prince.
like David Duchovny. I've gotten that before too. I don't
That's
think
true. That's
I
what I
can
was
see
thinking.
that.
Oh, I couldn't get to. Okay, yes.
David Duchovny, I see completely.
Of all
David
of them,
Duchovny?
Josh, no.
David
Duchovny.
Duchovny.
Yes,
You know, I don't
David
know
Duchovny,
white
yes.
people.
I've thought
we
that
have the
before.
same name.
The guy from X-Files. Yes, 100%. You look like David Duchovny.
Okay, and who you look like, Lance?
Brendan Fraser is what they say.
David Duchovny.
I can see Brendan Fraser.
I'm dead ass. Yo, it looks like making Mike laugh like
Mostly.
crazy.
I
don't think I do, but that's what people tell me.
And he's still going.
It's just so random.
Brandon Fraser.
That's what I don't get. I don't get it either.
You have to see him hold a guitar. Bender, we have to see him hold a guitar. Then we can have.
That was probably part of it. Yeah.
Okay, but who was the other person?
I agree.
For you
I agree.
again?
Pete Davidson
Matt?
with facial hair. Definitely Pete Davidson with facial hair for sure.
Wait, who
Yeah, no,
looks like
Lance.
Pete Davidson?
Lance, Brandon
Matt.
Fraser.
Yes, that's what I always get.
You're
I can
a
see that.
beautiful version, and I'm not saying he's not, but
Oh,
you're
nice,
just
nice.
you're a beautiful
Better.
version. I told you,
I'm
you
better
have,
than
like,
current
you-
day Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, Brandon Fraser, you look like that man, but you don't. But you're a beautiful version. Like you just.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. You look like when you
Mike
walk
is
around,
gone,
there's
y'all.
like a glow behind. There's like white, just light coming from behind.
All right, you ready to see? You ready to
Yes,
see a
it's because I'm translucent.
high school me?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Ready? No facial hair. This is a rare opportunity.
And
to
is this
see
the
me.
print? Is this the print?
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I see a little more Prince.
I see it.
Yeah, I can
The
see it.
Italian Prince.
Now I'm seeing like a
He looks like fucking Prince. Are you
You're
serious?
Yeah, no,
you're
I-
giving
I
me
see it.
Latino,
Okay.
something here. Something Latino. I didn't even look at you though. Wow.
You were all laughing.
I
You
just
were all
blown.
laughing.
Because
You
it's
should, Bender, you should maybe shave your face.
Should I shave? Should I shave?
You should maybe shave your face.
Wow.
holy fuck. My mind has been blown.
That's crazy because you was laughing. You was laughing. It
Well,
tickled you so much.
I thought that he just like pulled out the most random thing, like you're a troll, like Prince, like that's so
We didn't know.
random.
When
I'm
he
like,
said
what?
Prince, it took us off.
Goddamn. Well played, Matt. Fuck.
It's giving something. It's giving something. Yeah, it's giving something.
That was a ride.
That was a
Impressive.
ride.
Fuck.
Yeah, it was a ride. Look, okay. Speaking about artists, I know that the biggest thing right now online is the debacle, in hip hop, the beef. I guess
wasn't a debacle.
It was,
I guess it was one of the greatest weekends of all time.
I guess, and I talked about it on Olay and Friends. We do have a part 2 coming out. I believe it's going to drop this Sunday. Because when we first talked about it, it was just the beginning, and then so much developed literally that day. And so we recorded again and we had the conversation. But
did you record on Monday after?
Did
you record after 616 came out?
Yes.
Okay.
So now we got.
Did you record post shooting outside the mansion?
No. So see, so much development has gone on.
Shootings now.
So much development. So between Kendrick Lamar and Drake, and Drake's The Heart didn't do what it needed to do, but Kendrick Lamar's They Not Like Us, Not Like Us was the one that dropped, and he, had the beat. It's something that I've never stepped.
It's becoming the anthem of
the Grams. Was that the other one?
I've never, Meet the Grams was one of them. But that They Not Like Us was something that he did outside of what he usually does, and he took a bop, something that Drake would do, and literally made a banger in a diss song where we can twerk to, we can step in the name of hate, and that is crazy. Stepping in the name of hate is crazy. Where he's telling us to,
by the way,
step
and when you see all the step videos to it.
It's crazy. It's crazy. And then Drake dropped The Heart trying to be Mr. Morale, which is what Kendrick Lamar usually does, and it didn't give. And so I don't know where it's going now, but now people are. Drake's security guard had got shot at his home in Toronto, and then somebody tried to break in, I think, on Today. And so these things are what's coming out with the beef. We haven't heard any responses from Kendrick since he dropped that one track that has sat at number 1. It's sat at number 1. But I think the thing about
Toronto.
Yeah, it's number 1. And here, I think the conversation that we were bringing out, what we talked about on the first one, and we didn't even know Kendrick was going to talk about it in his song, Not Like Us, because when we were talking about it in the original Olay and Friends, the first part, we were just talking about how Drake operates in whiteness, going places and wearing people's cultures, whether it's in Atlanta, Texas, whether it's in Jamaica, the Caribbean, whether it's in
There's
Africa.
that picture of him sitting with, what is it, the soccer team or something?
Yeah, and then he goes from,
he's dressed up like them. Like, what are you doing, bro?
He changes his clothes to dress up for any sport. He goes for whoever's the hottest thing at the time. And so our conversation was more aligned with Drake just being able to go in and out of the cultures, and not to say that we don't like Drake songs. I love Drake songs. I actually know more Drake songs than I know Kendrick Lamar songs. However, what we're talking about, this beef and the artistry of it, and the hip hop being what it actually is, Kendrick Lamar verbally and all those things represents hip hop, and he is true to who he is. And
Drake's a pop artist.
Yeah, I mean, he's a rapper, but
He's a pop artist.
Drake can sit and be black if he wants to be one day. Like, we know he's black. He's biracial, and he's black, but he can be black one day, and then he can go and be white one day. He can just do all of these things. And to me, his audience, is everyone, which is fine. It's great. But that same audience are people who can go into these conversations and say things that are not that are against Black people and be fine. And Drake say nothing about it. To me, Drake operates, and I said, this is what we try to say. Somebody operating in white privilege or whiteness, or what we call that in the Black community, we'll say if somebody's operating in whiteness, it's like white privilege, moving in that. And that could be systemic. It's officers, to me, I will say they're operating in whiteness, a systemic thing. They're moving. You could be a Black officer. That's what we were trying to say. Him as an artist, he can just operate in that. He has, the ability to do that, be a chameleon and things like that. But you've never heard Drake, and not that he has to, because none of the artists have to speak about issues, right? They don't have to speak about that. But yet you want to be Black so bad. Like, you want that title so bad. And it's like, you're already that. You can be that. But your audience, it gets problematic, especially in this case. It brings people out like Vlad, right? Who is a white man who does interviews with Black artists, rap artists.
Yeah, people don't know he runs Vlad TV.
Yeah, Vlad TV, particularly like Boosie. And we know how problematic his stuff can be. He's somebody who centers himself around artists who are problematic in the hip hop community.
I call him Bussy.
And he does all that. So So what he did on the other day, he said Kendrick Lamar's song, Not Like Us, he tweeted out, hey, that song, I guess the beat suck or something. And there was a woman who was a professor at Princeton, and I believe she taught hip hop there. I'm not sure, but she's a professor at Princeton, and she just tweeted back to him and said, this is a conversation for Black folk, like whatever. He wrote her back, oh, is that how you talk to your students? Because he's white.
White people aren't allowed to have an opinion. He said, he wanted to speak to the manager so fast.
Yeah, so fast. That was very white of him. That was very white of him. And he said to her, though, this is my problem. This is where they use their whiteness. Because your platform is built from Blackness. Like, we built that platform up. The people that you talk to, the discussions that are very problematic, that's all. Like, your platform got built from from talking to Black people. And then he said to her, because he knows Princeton is basically a PWI, a predominantly white institution. And he said, is that how you talk to your students? Is that how you talk to your students? And I said, hold on now. He said, I'm going to talk to Princeton on Monday. So, and they'll hear about this. Everybody
that is
was
so
saying,
outrageous to me.
It was pretty white. And then she said, my time there is done. I'm not teaching right now. It's finished. Like she said, we're at the end of the semester. I did what I need to do. But my conversation was to you, and I was telling you how it wasn't like, especially for his position in hip hop, he's problematic. So we don't need you speaking on it from your one perspective that we know is going to be wrong, but we know it's going to be problematic for you to get clicks, likes, all those things. So we don't want you in this conversation. It was particularly for him and how we know he's problematic in hip hop. And he felt like I could say what I want to say. It's one of those moments where, oh, you didn't let me say the ER. Okay, then I'm really going to show out. And that was the problem there. And then he got a lot of backlash about it. He doubled down on it. And then he got a lot of backlash about it. And then he said on Monday, it's Monday and I haven't done it. And I thought of, and I haven't reached out, but it just goes to show like how you guys talk on how we can talk online. I should be able to speak online. And then I think yesterday he put out another one and said, after reflection, what I said was wrong because it's affecting his dollars. It's affecting his audience. It's affecting his. So he had to apologize. He didn't want to apologize. He wanted to stand 10 toes down on that. But those are the type of people that, to me, Drake brings out like and gives them the ability to just feel like, hey, I can say what I want. Drake would never say, hey, this ain't. He would never tell his audience to pipe down or this is not the problem or da-da-da-da. He ain't that type. And it also goes to show that J. Cole, who is also biracial, he presents himself as Black. He identifies as Black. And we never question it, who he is or how he is. He just is who he is. Drake is just somebody we just never know. Who are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Pick a side. The conversation that somebody tried to utilize in the argument or in the conversation that we were having was that, Drake came out and he never knew who he was. He didn't pick him on the Black side and they didn't pick him on the white side. And so he had to just go through. No, y'all, listen, if you walking around here and you think you Black, and you're biracial and you're Black, you identify as Black, you were raised as Black or whatever. Or if you want to identify as white, even though America 3-drop rule, whatever, you Black. If however you want to identify, nobody has a problem with that, but just be true to who you are, kind of thing. But this conversation has gotten legs and just ran everywhere. But what Kendrick Lamar said in his song was everything that we talked about. He's like, you aren't somebody, you're actually a problem to hip hop. You're like a cultural vulture, but you also are a problem when it comes to issues and things like that. You never speak up. And in hip hop, this is what it's truly about. And, that's what kind of like he laid out in the song. And I think that's what we should focus on. Drake is a great artist, absolutely a great artist. But I think that this is some time and all the stuff that may be coming about him. How are your friends possible pedophiles? All those kind of things, and you still hanging around them. And people have actual stories that they're saying that they don't want to come out about you. And we talked about this on this platform. Our favorite people can do bad things too, right? They can be behind a lot of bad things. Even with the allegations against Kendrick Lamar, they were saying, he is a woman beater or whatever the case may be. And our favorite people can do bad things too. I just don't want to see this type of beef go into like a Biggie and Tupac type of thing. I don't want nobody getting hurt. Like, I don't know what happened. I know this thing seems more personal than we would know, but
I will say this, something that has been incredibly exciting, because I know some people get mad when you talk about this topic because they're like, why are you guys talking about this? It's not that serious. And I was like, it's grown to such a degree, though, that I think people should realize this is really cool. This is two grown men who are super famous, who are writing poems, angry poems to each other. Like, that's, everyone always talks about we should be teaching kids Shakespeare, teaching them about poetry. I was like, this is a really important moment in time, because one of them, because I don't like Drake, I love Kendrick Lamar. One of them, I think, is one of the greatest living poets on the planet. They're writing really intricate poetry. Kids can learn what a triple entendre is just by looking at this word that has 3 different ways of calling Drake a pedophile in this line. Like, that's so neat how he weaves that shit. Like, oh, that's like on that end, I think, like, people need to understand that it is larger than simply a discussion on one single part of the topic. Like, some people are like, oh, I just hate it when people are so angry or saying such mean things, or you should be making dance songs about terrible topics like, pedophilia or child abuse or things like that. Like, that's a horrifying aspect of all of this. But I'm also like, do you understand how much at the worst possible time, because the world's fucked right now, how inspiring it is to see sometimes artists be at this level, this elite? And again, I'm only talking about Kendrick. I'm a huge Drake hater. I'm not going to be able to help out there. But also, what's actually been very wholesome about this? I have noticed a lot of white people. I didn't know this because I'm huge into the hip hop community. A lot of, outside of the exceptions, like, you're talking about DJ Vlad, who fucking sucks, and there's a handful of others. There's other people. Anthony Fantano is a good example, who actually are putting in the work and the time to understand what concepts of the culture is and what this means, and like why this is a learning opportunity for so many white folk. Like, go watch that Olayemi and Friends that they made, because it's like, that's 302 level shit for all the fellow white people who don't know a lot about this topic, or don't know about the intercommunal dynamics that are happening at the same time, what a lot of these lyrics might mean, what, like, why Not Like Us is such a powerful song for a lot of different reasons. And it's, I don't know, it's been both a ride, and also it's been emotional on a weird way, because like some of the songs that came out are so haunting and dark, and powerful, and you're just sitting there and you're like, this goes beyond just like a diss track. This feels like Kendrick is owning part of his soul.
You're excited about the darkness.
Yeah, I know. What is happening? That came out the night before. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh my god, he's operating on a different level.
I just didn't realize how far this hatred goes back, because now people are pulling up like the Black Panther song that Kendrick did with SZA, and he has a little bit of a diss at Drake. Fuck you and your congratulations. I guess Drake congratulated him for outselling him. And he talks about how I hate people who feel entitled. So like, this has been bubbling up for a while. Kendrick fucking hates him. And to see him like at his best and just unleash all these feelings, it really is cool to see. I've been enjoying it. I'm also a Kendrick stan. So obviously Kendrick is the GOAT. Drake is not good. Some songs are okay, but like, I feel like
I was surprised Family Matters, because I don't know a lot of Drake. I was like, I was surprised at how hard that song went. Even the very start of it, and even like, the opening to like his flow, and even though it's gonna be like, I was trying to keep it PG. I was like, that's so Drake,
Yeah.
Drake
I'm gonna be nice. That was a reference. That was a reference to who are those guys that do videos, those funny videos about rappers? But it was a reference to. They did a video about Drake's next drop, and he said that in that video as a joke, and Drake put it into his next song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Got it.
No, but who y'all got, Kendrick or Drake?
I mean, is there anyone that's like on Team Drake? I feel like that's so clownish.
I think Kendrick's obviously. I think Kendrick is obviously the better rapper. I think there's no debate about that. I just think Drake's a pop star. Like he's out of his element. Like. You know what I mean? He really should not have gotten into this.
He did have battle rap experience in Toronto, for the whole K-Dot battle rap scene. So
I literally have a shirt from going to one of those in 2015.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, that's actually where. Funny story. That's where so Drake didn't do anything there, but he was there. That's right. That's right. I saw him. He walked into a room. So. At the time, my uncle was one of the owners of the place where it was happening. So we were in like some area that was closed off. Drake walks in thinking it was empty, and we lock eyes, and then he turns around and runs out.
What?
He thought the room was empty. He clearly did not want to have any conversation with anybody. So he like ran out.
You should be like, Drake,
wow,
Drake.
Me and Drake just looked at each other in the eyes, and he was scared and ran off.
Did you feel anything like a connection or?
No, it was just a bizarre moment because I was not expecting to see Drake walk in the room.
Oh, man, I just don't want it to get crazy. But no, who do you guys got? I said Drake or Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick, absolutely. Even by the numbers at this point. So the very last song to put a bow on it that Drake releases, that track at first, it starts out, you're like, oh, this is gonna be neat. How's he gonna flip this? And the lyrics are essentially about how he planted all these stories, and it's all been like part of his big scheme. And we made you think that, I had a daughter, a secret daughter. We made you think that I'm a pedophile. We made you think all this kind of stuff. And then at the very end, like he's actually writing a song about like how he doesn't diddle kids. Just
He
like
literally did the "It's Always Sunny" meme.
He did the meme, and then like just like the meme, it's so bad to sit there. You're like, there's no way to like get amped up by this track and be like, hell yeah, I thought you were a predator. No, I would actually think you were a competitor if I was a predator. I was like, that's such a fucked up thing to
I would
say.
go to jail if I did any of this.
Yeah,
like,
I would go to jail
stop,
if
just
I
shut the
was
fuck up.
Yeah, it got
So
crazy.
weird.
It got real crazy. He thought if he went, he thought
that
if he
for
went
real?
with
He
the
really-
style.
That's
He
literally
actually
the closing line. He does spoken word, and he's like, "I would think you were a competitor if I was actually a predator." That's like one of the closing lines. You're like, "Oh my god, dude!" What?
And he name
No,
drops
but did
Millie
he
Bobby
really-
Brown when Kendrick didn't even
Yeah,
mention
when
Millie
Kendrick
Bobby
didn't
Brown. Like,
mention
he didn't bring her up. You brought her up.
No.
Yeah.
Did he really say that I made you all think I was a pedophile?
Yes,
Jokes on
yes.
you.
Drake says he planted the stories. He says he planted the 11-year-old story.
Got
like, people
him.
fed you information. And I was
Kendrick
like, so you were
owned.
just a lifelong creep with all this footage of you, like kissing a 17-year-old stage, taking pictures with high school kids, making music videos about sexualized high school kids. Like that whole lifetime of creepy shit was all just look. Drake played the long game. That was one hell of. He was just waiting. One day I'll take down Kendrick by planting a lifetime of being a super weirdo creep, and then it'll pay off.
Mm-hmm. The memes from this have been so great though, because like you have people talking about J. Cole, how he's somewhere chilling on a beach, and he actually was on a beach.
He was
decided
literally
to
chilling
bow
on a
out.
beach.
He was literally on a beach.
Yeah,
that
was the beach, and there he was
Wise
sitting
man.
on the beach and
Enjoying his life.
They said he was. She said that he said he was writing his new album or a new song or something like that, and he really was. It's almost like he knew this is. I love that for him. Where he's like, you know what, for me. I don't want to go back to who I used to be, and I don't want my artistry to be aligned with hate. And I felt that in that time, but it was going to mess with my mental. So I backed out of it. A lot of people said that was a bitch move or like something that was weak, but
it was the right move for him for sure.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta do something that's gonna work for you, and regardless of how. This is what I love about J. Cole. This is what I'm saying. Regardless of how the world is gonna view you, what I don't like about Drake is you're so worried about how everybody views you.
Yeah,
nobody knows exactly who you are. You can't sit still in who you are, and I think that's the best thing about hip hop. A lot of artists we already know them from when we hear them. That's them. Like this is their flow. This is something this is who they are. And I think once Drake needs to, this is what we said, and you guys will see it in the second part with Olay and Friends. Drake, this needs to hit him somewhere where he can just kind of back up and just come out, reemerge as himself. We love his, I'll say, we the people, we love his artistry. We think he's great. He is definitely, he's been on since Degrassi, right? That's the show, Degrassi. And he was popular on that show. So, he knows being in the limelight. He knows, and he may have struggles that happen there, but, where he is now, I think he had a lot of people behind him. I loved him, and I know he the first person that saw him and helped put him on was Trey Songz. If people don't really know,
right, I forgot about that.
Songz
Yeah,
was the one that gave him an opportunity and a chance, and he began to utilize that and grow and all that stuff. So, again, how Not Like Us came out and he did it on a bop beat, and I'm talking about Kendrick. Drake did the Heart. Where he broke down everything you just talked about, Lance, and he tried to go Mr. Morale. That's what they call Kendrick, Mr. Morale. And he tried to go like real soft and smooth and subtle, and it still didn't give or present because Drake, while he can wear mini coats, he tried to wear Kendrick's on that song, and it just didn't work. No, look at that, Drake
Drake's team. Yeah,
time to shut it down.
Isn't it funny? Also, did you hear about Metro Boomin and how all of his sussy tweets came up too?
Yeah,
Damn,
and
everybody's getting exposed.
They said that they said he did those. I don't know what the tweets were exactly, but I know they said that he did those tweets at people were saying like he was in his teenage years and people changed since then or something like that. I don't know exactly what the tweets were, but they said, because Metro was pretty young, and they were saying like those came out when he was in his teen years, allegedly. I don't really know what the tweets were.
I think that's true.
Yeah, they said that he was super, and he said he's grown since then or whatever. But one of the tweets that he did put out to Drake, he was like, Drake, you've done a lot of bad to people, and I'm never gonna put out. He made a track for a lot of people to do a remix to, and it's called BBL Drake. And
it's a good beat. There's a lot of really mean. I know, but they're all inspired. They're all writing poetry.
They're all good. People's raps are coming out great. But he did say, I would say something to you, and this is all because of the track that Metro Boomin produced. This all stemmed from what Metro Boomin produced on Future's latest album, and Kendrick was featured on that song with Kendrick Lamar and Metro Boomin, and that's stemmed from there. And with that being said, like all of this, Metro was like, I could drop and say what you did, Drake. I could really say that, but that once I really let people know what you did, you would be canceled, and I don't want that type of vibe. They would really cancel you for what you've done. So like this is that to me. I'm not saying that Drake is P. Diddy, but I'm saying a lot of our favorites have done some things to people.
Have you seen all the videos, Rebecca, that are coming out though? There's like a lot of they're now I think in their mid-20s or later 20s, but like I think they were in high school at the time when Drake was starting to have mansion parties. They're all doing these videos where it's like when you knew it's all in text. It's like when you knew when you knew to tell your friends not to go to Drake's mansion party, especially when they were like 15 or 16 or things like that, and they're just going like this. Yeah, I know, and you're just like, if there is stories like it'll be one of those once one person comes forward, another person will come forward, kind of thing.
Yep. And ooh, that would be something. So I don't know what he's done, what he's been a part of, but I do know that Drake needs to take a reset. And I think, it's a heart thing. It's a personal thing. I think at this point, Kendrick's not saying anything. Kendrick doesn't come out with music often. And the fact that he was waking up every day and choosing violence and hate, and not like letting up and that means that there's something that he doesn't
after
care.
One of the tracks came out.
There's something he doesn't care to say. He doesn't care to tell us. It's really just between him and Drake, and he's just putting it in the work. But
yeah, Matt, if you weren't following it, one of the most exciting moments of the saga was when Drake releases Family Matters, which just again went harder than I ever thought it had like a right to. I was really surprised. I was like, holy shit, actually, I didn't know Drake can be this kind of mean and vicious. Like 30 minutes after that song came out, Kendrick releases his next response song, right? As in he had this one just ready, locked and loaded for whenever that was going to be dropped. And then the next day had a song in rebuttal to the one he had also released. And then the day after that had a third one. It was just like, boom.
It was
boom,
boom.
And they exciting. Were just worse than the one that came before it and ruthless. And you're just like, oh my God. Like, it was a good week.
And Not Like Us is genuinely amazing. And the fact that Kendrick has dropped the copyright so people can stream it on YouTube.
Yeah, react to it.
So fucking
earn monetization.
It's smart.
It's really
very smart.
It makes sure that his gets played over and over everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
Before we went live, I was mixing in Jordan Peterson with the Not Like Us instrumental. And it's fire. We can make that our new intro if you all want for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to hear it. I would love to see it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of music, so got to give a shout out to Hind's Hall by Macklemore. Really great song. That was good. Amazing song.
He decringed himself. I don't know how he did that, but he has officially uncringed.
What's the song? Tell me, because I don't know. I know Macklemore. Macklemore is the guy that he did the thrift store song.
Can we listen to it?
Yes, the thrift store song, and he's the one who
I don't think we can listen to it. Yeah.
I wouldn't listen to it.
I think that one is a little bit risky. We can listen to the Bonk song though. Have you all seen that?
The what?
So okay, I gotta explain it. So there was a video of somebody bonking a police officer on the head with a 5-gallon jug, and it was making like a bonking noise. And somebody mixed it into a song, and the song is like actually fucking hilarious. It's like a minute
long. That's on
long.
Spotify though. Can we share that?
I think we can share it. Yeah, I don't think that they put a copyright on it.
If I get copyright struck,
they might get. I just don't think it's worth it. Look up the if anything, we should be giving the guy the views. Look up the Bonk Song. You can find it on Spotify. We should be giving him this because he's like an independent artist.
So it's from Noshu, $NO$HU, and he has the full song actually on Spotify and Apple Music now. It's really, really good.
All right, Matt's tired, so we should get to super chats.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
Wait, are we not going to get to
What's
hear
going on?
Because we're talking about hip hop.
Because it might be copyrighted.
We should. I just don't think we should risk playing it. Plus, I also think we should be giving these artists the views. Well,
yeah. So with the Macklemore song, because it's for a good cause, go support Hind's Hall by Macklemore. All the proceeds go to the UNRWA. And like I said, that man I thought of as mostly a clown in the hip hop scene for a long time, and it's really nice to see him do something like this. I think probably the bravest of any musical artist in terms of like trying to mass release a track. He's the only one that's done
any kind of song about this.
Yeah, where he hits every fucking point, every point about the genocide from start to finish. It goes really hard, way harder than I ever thought Macklemore would go.
Yeah,
I said on my stream the other night, the common joke about Macklemore over the years is how people would say they wish he would mackle less. But it turns out the dude's got a lot left, and I'm happy.
What's so great about the song? Y'all gotta tell me.
He mackled more.
It directly speaks about the genocide of Palestinians, the complicity of the U.S. government, and it just.
Let's play it. Let's play. What's gonna happen if we play a couple of seconds?
Harder and harder. I've played it like 6 times on my stream.
Yeah,
I don't think
play it then.
Let's play it. And it sounds like it's produced by DJ Shadow because it's got all this orchestral rising. Like it's just really well produced. And Matt, what's his face? Tom Morello of Rage Against the Machine said it was the most Rage Against the Machine song since Rage Against the Machine, and I was like, that's a good fucking compliment.
That's a great compliment. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to listen to it.
I think that the video itself is the problem because it got age restricted on Macklemore's YouTube channel.
Okay, well then I can't.
So that's...
I have nothing to play then.
Okay, I'll play it myself. I'll find
what if you minimize the video, make it smaller? So it's less likely to be.
Can I avoid? Maybe I scroll down here while I'm playing the video.
Yeah, you can try that.
You try that.
Look,
we're at the end of the stream anyway, though. Like, what'll happen? We get age restricted now.
Nah, you can't.
Play it right there. Play it right there.
The visuals are good too.
Zoom out though. Like make the window bigger so the video gets smaller, so it's less likely to be picked up by YouTube.
The people they won't leave. What is threatening about
make it bigger on
one piece. The problem isn't the protest, is what they're protesting. It goes against what our country is funding. Block the barricade until Palestine is free. Block the barricade until Palestine is free. When I was 7, I learned a lesson from Cuban Easy-E. What was it again? Oh yeah, fuck the police. Actors and badges protecting property in a system that was designed by white supremacy. But the people are in the streets. You can pay off Meta, you can't pay off me. Politicians who serve by any means. APAC, Kofi, and all the companies. You see, we sell fear around the land of the free. But this generation here is about to cut the strings. You can ban TikTok, take us out the algorithm, but it's too late. We've seen the truth, we bear witness. Seen the rubble, the buildings, the mothers, and the children, and all the men that you murdered. And then we see how you spin it. Who gets the right to defend and who gets the right of resistance. It's always been about dollars and the color of your pigment. But white supremacy is finally on blast, screaming free Palestine to their home at last. We see the lies and claiming it's anti-Semitic to be anti-Zionist. I seen Jewish brothers and sisters out there and writhing in solidarity and screaming free Palestine, with them organizing and learning and finally cutting ties with the state that's gotta rely on apartheid system to uphold an occupying violent history. Been repeating for the last 75. The Nakba never ended, the colonizer lied. It's students in tents, posted on the lawn. Occupying the quad is really against the law, and a reason to call in the police and their squad. Where does genocide land in your definition, huh? Destroying every college in Gaza and every mosque, pushing everyone into Rafah and dropping bombs. The blood is on your hands, Biden, we can see it all. And fuck no, I'm not voting for you in the fall. Undecided, you can't twist the truth. The people out here united, never be defeated when freedom's on the horizon. Yet the music industry's quiet, complicit in their platform of silence. What happened to the artists? What you gotta say? If I was on a label, you could drop me today. I'll be fine with it cause the heart fed my page. I want a ceasefire, fuck a response from Drake. What you willing to risk? What you willing to give? What if you were in Gaza? What if those were your kids? If the West was pretending that you didn't exist, you want the world to stand up, and the students finally did. Let's get it.
That's good.
It's really good, right?
That is really, really like that. I ain't even know Macklemore
That's great.
on that. I ain't know.
Yeah, right. It's I feel like now we have to play the Bonk Song.
Oh Lord,
we have to. It's only a minute, and then people can go get the full song. It's so good because it's in that same spirit of like, I stand with the protesters.
Okay, you can find
solidarity.
it.
Yeah, I can pull it up.
I'm not sure where it is.
I'll pull it up.
That was a really good song. I like that. Macklemore, wow. Like that was really good.
Yeah, didn't think he had it in him.
No, but that was really good. Thank you guys for sharing that because I would have never went to a Macklemore song. I like his thrift store song. I like his thrift store song, but I never heard from him again. So yeah.
Okay. This is the Bonk Song. This is the person.
Can we show them whatever?
Yeah, this one I'm pretty sure we can show the video itself.
You're muted, Matt. You are going off.
That's how you should treat the cup. Make them take more than 5 L's. That's how you beat the cup. Bonk, bonk. Do you want this juggernaut? Come and go hard with the jug. I call him juggernaut. Cal Poly going too off with big old plastic jugs, just like a boot job. They wanna know what I think when I was first. Thought that popped into my head. This is bunker. Bong, 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 bong. What the students say. From Columbia Uni all the way to LA. Let us unify and rise in the coolest way. Motherfuck 12, free Palestine to the grave. Not a single cut, a lot of love. What you got with a Rico on the water judge? It's not a clip. Only bitch, it's a life lesson. If you're resourceful, anything can be the right weapon.
That sounds like something that Wyclef could.
I just realized I was on mute when I was trying
You
to
were.
talk
I was.
before.
Yes, you're on mute.
What were you saying?
Okay, I just needed to make it clear to Rebecca because it's sounding like from how she's talking that she thinks the four of us are like regular huge Macklemore fans who've been like incessantly refreshing his Spotify feed for new material, and that's why we know about this song. It was all over the place.
Yeah. What was that?
Yeah, Matt doesn't even listen to hip hop.
412,000 likes.
Wow.
195,000 retweets. And that's on Twitter. I assume it's on Spotify now. I know it was supposed to be. But
I don't think it is yet. Actually, it's not on Apple Music. At least I've been checking because I do want to play it. It's good, and the funding.
All proceeds go to UNRWA.
Yeah, so you can't beat that. Yeah, it's still not up for me, at least on Apple Music.
The Bonk Song was pretty silly, Mike. I don't think we needed to play that.
It was fucking amazing.
It's a fun song.
It's so fun. Did you see the original video?
I was actually a little bit disappointed because they don't really the bonk isn't really used in the
It wasn't
beat, really.
synced with the
They should have used the sound drop from the video.
I think that if you already saw the video, like the original bonking, then it's better. But if you haven't, find the original bonk. It's very good. It's a very loud bonk. It's
You're
very
trying
good.
to explain it, and it's obviously wasn't.
You
very
are such
good.
a hater.
Just
it's
give it
so
up.
good.
Just give it up.
All right, let's
It
do
is
super.
good.
All right, here
It
you go,
is
Rebecca.
good.
This is
Okay.
yours.
Okay,
Chat loved it.
We're here. Tokyo Hans, thank you so much for your super sticker. Omega Star, thank you so much. So glad you made it. Sending happy thoughts your way. Thank you for receiving them all. J Cass, hey everyone. Night shift sucks. I'm catching Leftist Mafia. On the flip side, shout out to Becca for being the only one on the panel without a David Dole haircut.
Until next week. Until next week when she shows up with the David Dole haircut.
Might give you something good. And then, but next week I may or may not be here because remember, my birthday is on Wednesday. So Prairie Fire.
Happy birthday,
so
just in
much.
case we don't see
Happy
you.
birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you. Prairie Fire, thank you so much. You could get your money back from these scams if you just use Bitcoin. You should talk to Matt about it. He's a pretty big proponent of Bitcoin. Just blow on supporter and boom, you're good.
Right.
Prairie Fire always become zero.
Kowalski's actually referring to. Did you guys see that Ohio OSU the commencement speech where the guy got booed for promoting Bitcoin?
No,
I didn't see that.
I did, yes, and good. Also,
right.
But it's
you're
even
allowed to do that.
The whole story is even crazier, though. We were talking about it on the Majority Report earlier. So the guy is like one of those the guy they invited to give the commencement speech is an OSU graduate who basically started like one of those like those lame like bracelet companies with like the custom bracelets or whatever that like he promotes makes him being like a social entrepreneur or whatever. And he came he did the commencement speech and he's doing this. He's promoting Bitcoin. He's got actual like slides, like a slideshow, like a presentation promoting Bitcoin. And then he calls the president of OSU up to do like a magic trick where he turns quarters into a Bitcoin, like a physical Bitcoin. And then people are wondering, why the hell was this allowed? Why was this guy invited? It turns out the president of OSU is on the board of a Bitcoin mining company.
Oh my God.
What?
Wow.
The president of the college is on the board of a Bitcoin mining company and then invited this like hustle, social entrepreneur, get rich quick guy to give the commencement speech and let him promote Bitcoin and then helped him promote Bitcoin during the commencement speech.
Yeah, it just looks
Sounds
so
like
weird. It looks
Wow.
dystopian to see the Bitcoin symbol on the big screen and everything, and all the kids booing. And then he's like, "No, hear me out. You can be rich with Bitcoin."
Right. Oh, yeah, the reason this went viral though is
Bitcoin
because
is such a cult.
the guy mentions Bitcoin, and the entire arena at this commencement
erupts.
speech starts booing, like really loud. Like just they think it's ridiculous that he's mentioning Bitcoin at their commencement.
And you said the president worked for Bitcoin or
The president of OSU is on the board of a Bitcoin mining company. Yes.
Probably shouldn't be
So
allowed.
ridiculous.
I'm just gonna say that.
Right?
There should probably be a law that doesn't allow that to happen.
Yeah, that's true. But is there no that place, that Bitcoin and all that stuff? They have nothing that protects people from. That's also a
the
place
Wild West.
that yes, Jesus. Zero PE. Thank you so much. I've always thought you looked like Pam. Now Pam is beautiful, so I accept it. Adar, but I like Adar. Let's help get Rebecca's brother home safely. Oh, he's here. But he's here. He's here.
Rebecca, did you ever figure out who was behind the call?
No.
I'm gonna throw this out here.
That's
It might ruin some relationships, but did you ever consider that your brother was like, "This would be really easy. I'm gonna get
No.
some."
He loves me. He would never. I'm so
That's
sensitive.
a
The way that
fucked up prank
my heart
too.
was-
Yeah.
Be like, I'm
He loves
gonna
me.
die. Save me.
He loved me. He would never.
I mean,
he
think
would
about
never.
it. Who else would know all that specific info?
People
I mean, he's
stalk
got
me.
the access.
No, it wasn't my brother. Nope, I'm not gonna go with that. Don't put that in my head. Tokyo Hans, thank you again. I hope Drake's career makes like Rebecca's camera and goes out. Oh no, I think Drake should still have a career. Andrew, my donation towards a new camera for Rebecca, none for the other hosts. My donos went to another streamer this week. She taught me about transhydra. Transhydra.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds cool.
Yeah, Tigwick, thank you so much. Love what you bring to the show, Rebecca. Thank you. Even though I be coming late, you still love it. Thank you.
And there you go.
And there I go. Okay, so I wanted to. Somebody sent me a Cash App, and I didn't want to forget them. Carly. Well, I don't know if I should say your full name because I know it's on here, but thank you, Carly, for the happy early birthday. I really appreciate it. And you guys, again, if I'm not here next week because I'm turning 34, I don't have any plans. You right?
Happy birthday.
You know. We're gonna do some recording since I this was my last week that work with them people. So we're gonna do some recording, try to put, my mind in that space. I don't have any plans for real. I'm just gonna chill. And if y'all know what it is. When people are unemployed, we looking for work. But, at the end of the day, we're holding it down. I love you guys so much. If you guys want to bless me immediately, you can go to my Cash App and send me a love offering for my B-Day at Becca's Voice. That's Cash App.
Let me put it up on the
Becca's
screen.
Voice. Yep. BECCASVOI.
More money equals more love.
Yeah. And, Rebecca
ratio.
Azor at gmail.com for PayPal for those of you guys who are looking for that. But I love y'all so much. I mean it. And if I don't see you next week, because I may pop in, but if I don't see you next week, I love you still.
You got to have fun. You got to do something good.
Yeah, hopefully. I might just do something, for myself. But make sure you guys have a good show. And I know you have a great guest, coming
Have a
up.
great birthday.
It's going to be good. Thank you, guys. Love you.
Have an amazing birthday.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay, Justin Moffat, thank you so much.
I gotta pull up my things. Hold on. Is this for me? It is. Akuya Damon with a super chat. Binder really said progressive accept paper straws.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. Because I'm all. And funny enough, that's one letter off from being an acronym for Pepsi. This is also for me. Renee with a super chat. Shouldn't be doing this. Steve Albini, rested in punk. Yes.
I like that, rest in punk.
Renee also says, I make music on my iPad. That's why it sounds that way. And then Renee also says, Apple needs to build an iPalestine. Oh my God, Renee, that was so corny.
Do you rescind the donation?
No, you actually, for me reading that one, you got to send me more, Renee. Wanda with a super chat. Last call, Maryland primary, May 14th. Uncommitted to any presidential candidate box on Maryland ballot. If you live in Maryland, get out and vote. Wanda, is the Maryland primary that's next week on May 14th?
That's Tuesday,
right? Is that just the president? Is that just the presidential primary? Or is that also statewide and local races? Because I know New York does two separate elections. Renee with another super chat. A Hackintosh with Mavericks. I don't even get what you're saying there. Renee.
I'm confused. It says Thomas, but you say Renee.
Oh, because that's it's a regular listener of my show.
Okay.
His real name is Renee. I don't know why he.
I was like, Thomas is it not? Jerome. Is it displaying wrong for me? No. Like, what's going on?
No, it's displaying correctly for you.
Okay. Brienne Vieira, $5. Thank you. Speaking of smelling their own farts, thinks of the South Park reference. Are you going to see the 25th anniversary re-release of Bigger, Longer, Uncut? I'll probably pass. I don't like musicals, even funny ones, so I'll probably pass. I never made it through the original South Park movie because it was a musical.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah,
I gotta
hate
say
musicals.
the original South Park, the South Park movie is. Well, I mean, I haven't seen it in a while, so maybe it has not stood the test of time. But I recall it being fantastic. What's your favorite song from it? That's the real question.
Fuck Canada. Blame Canada.
No, makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I gotta say the one that's been the catchiest for me though, the one that it's been an earworm in my mind for the past like 20 years, has been, what would Brian Boitano do if he was here right now? That one has been stuck in my head for ages. I'll just whip it out and start singing it out of the blue. I haven't heard it in decades.
Checkmate 07. Thank you for the super chat. Says, hey guys, I'm graduating.
I thought you were going to say Uncle Fucker. Sorry.
That's what people expect. I don't like the Brian Boitano song is actually a really good song. It's a good song. That's why it's stuck in my head.
David, we need to talk about it.
I'm graduating tomorrow and going off to OSU for political science. You guys help put me on this path. Awesome.
Congratulations. That's fucking amazing. OSU, Oregon State University, or
good luck to your success.
Yeah, that's so cool.
For Resto, the super chat, Hypnotoad 2024. I mean, I'm going actually brainworm 2024.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Gonna vote for that brainworm.
Oh yeah.
Now my question is I've posed this question on the Majority Report earlier today. Now the brainworm apparently died in RFK Jr.'s head. Now my question is,
there's more worms. I've looked it up. There's lots of worms.
But my question is, the brainworm that did die, was it poisoned by what it ate inside RFK Jr.'s head? Like, is his brain so poisonous that it poisoned the brainworm? Or did the brainworm die because it died of hunger because it went in there and there was nothing to eat? It was
the
latter. Yeah.
Somebody in my
was
comments
empty.
made that joke. I laughed. It was funny.
Yeah. It's Ohio State University for the last super chat. Congratulations. Good for you. That's so cool. You should celebrate, do something fun, because that's a big accomplishment.
Wait, what was the accomplishment? I missed it.
They just got their bachelor's in political science at Ohio State University, and they said that we helped put them on this path. They got interested in politics because of us, so that's really cool.
Were you at that commencement speech? I gotta ask. Were you there when he was promoting Bitcoin? I need to know. I need to know all the deets.
Yeah.
Renee with another super chat. Oh yes, Bob, RFK Jr. is due a new OS install. Renee, are you drunk tonight? What are all these random? I don't even know what you're saying.
Tokyo Hans, member for 3 months. Thank you. Says, I may be going to Canada for the first time, and I'm excited to try Tim Hortons for the first time as well. What do you recommend to order?
That's like going somewhere and trying Arby's for the first time and being like, I can't wait to go and try that, or Carl's Jr.
Yeah,
like go
to a local
somewhere
coffee
that's
shop.
Recommended. Yeah, any local coffee shop will be better.
Check out Balzac's in Toronto.
Just don't get the coffee at Tim Hortons. They use these really shitty paper lids now.
The lids are
disintegrate. Don't do it.
Real woke.
I will. Okay, if you're going there, I don't know. Get a coffee. Maybe you like the coffee. I don't know. Get an ice cap. Lots of sugar. If you like lots of sugar, ice cap, and a Boston cream donut. That's my favorite donut there. So
they have donuts at Tim Hortons.
That's like the main thing.
That's the
thing.
Yeah, they're the ones that
Canadian. How would I know that?
Selling you the donut holes. They sell the little.
They got
holes.
Tim Hortons in the United States of America, buddy.
Yeah,
I've never been to a fucking
there's
Tim
some in New York.
I'm thinking it's like a 7-Eleven or some shit.
No, it's like a Dunkin' Donuts.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
I mean, they have more.
Yeah,
Actually, they introduced
donuts.
pizza recently, which is an interesting decision.
Yeah, they have wrapped
Pizza and
sandwiches,
donuts?
pizza. They have too much food now.
But it's like
they
it's
like
too
Jack
much
in the
food.
Box. It exploded.
Okay,
Yeah,
we
it's
need
a
Tim
little too
Hortons
much right
here.
now.
I demand.
Though I
it.
will say the habanero chicken wrap is actually really good. I like the habanero chicken wrap.
They got
but it's
a
like,
habanero chicken wrap at Tim Hortons. No, I don't.
If you're like in a
know
rush,
that.
you grab some. I was
Just go to a
shocked
local
at that.
cafe. You'll be so much happier. You did.
Yeah.
I'm with Tokyo Hans. I would go straight to Tim Hortons if I was in Canada. I'm not gonna lie. Just curious.
Well, you can go in
Just
the
a
airport.
novelty
You'll
of it.
definitely be in the airport. You don't even need to fucking.
Yes.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
Convenience.
Who's this for?
Matt.
Not me. No, it's
Yeah.
not. I don't see it here at least. Let me refresh. Maybe this has been going on with my thing.
It's not for me.
Okay, this is for me.
Reading
Okay.
single
there you
donos
go.
when you guys are finding yours in
Shami-
between them. That's what I'll do from now on.
What is it? Shami
No, go ahead. I was
Sen-
just. Yeah.
Shami Sengupta with $4.99. Fuck Apple's liberal corporate messaging, but I'm blind and my iPad has transformed my life in this ableist world. Nationalize Apple. There you go. That's a good solution. Yeah, nationalize Apple. Turn it into a public good. I'm with you there.
And I'm glad it helps.
Thank you, Tokyo Hans.
Parker, thank you for the super chat. Says, would Hillary have moved the embassy to Jerusalem?
Who knows?
Probably not.
I don't know. It's hypotheticals are hard.
My hypothetical would be no, but I wouldn't be surprised if yes.
Yeah, sure. I'd go with that.
Yeah.
Renee with a super chat. Liberal story time with Grandma Hillary. Okay.
Someone is up drinking late. Matt Knowles, $10 super chat. Canadian. Thank you, Matt. Wonder if Hillary knows who Edwin Montagu is, the only Jew in British Parliament in 1917 who was against the entire Balfour Declaration and called it anti-Semitic and predicted pretty much everything. Law Gnomes, thank you for the chat. Thoughts on the Hades 2 demo? I have not played it because it is early access, and I want to. It sounds like it's a basically complete game, but I want to just wait for the 1.0 release before I play it. And there's so much out right now. I actually started playing Animal Well today, which is getting a lot of press right now. It's really it's people are calling it like a Metroidvania, which it kind of is, but it reminds me more of Fez, where it's just like it's very mysterious, and it's it's 2D side scroller. There's lots of it's environmental puzzles and stuff you figure out, and you feel really smart. It's so far it's really good, but I hear it's like super, I don't know, surprising, and people are like, don't spoil it for yourself. Like, so I'm like going through it and not really knowing what's happening. But,
that one looks really good.
I also started playing Like a Dragon finally, the new one.
Oh,
which is
okay.
also fantastic.
Nice. Fetterman, thank you, Shami, again. Fetterman's going to join the GOP. I mean, he's certainly moving in that direction. At a minimum, I think maybe he declares himself independent. We'll see. Is there one that was missed by Ignar, David? That's before this?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
That was supposed to be my next one. Oh, no, it's no biggie. Ignar Husky with $10. Thank you. It's pretty embarrassing that Reagan in the 80s was more progressive on Israel than Biden, and Reagan was a ghoul. All it takes is a hardball phone call, and it could be done within 30 minutes. Absurd. Yeah, absolutely. And not just Reagan, also Bush. Yeah, that's the part that's really infuriating to me.
Shadow 4.99 super chat, and this is actually my last one. So Shadow says there's a Morning Joe clip where they criticize the Vietnam War protests in order to criticize today's pro-Palestinian.
What? I gotta see this. Wow. Pull it up.
I'll see if I can find that.
That's quite the hot take.
Just search Morning Joe Vietnam.
They're gonna go back and start supporting the Iraq War just to own the pro-Palestine protesters too.
Nothing's coming up immediately. I mean, I believe
someone
you.
Send it to us. Someone drop it in the chat or something.
People can't link in the chat. It doesn't
just break up the just make a space in between the like the .com to break it up.
Let me see if this is
I'm interested.
I don't know.
Somebody says Kyle Kalinske shared it. I don't know if that's on like Twitter or YouTube.
Let me check his YouTube. While I'm searching, do you have any, Lance?
Oh yeah, let's go ahead, Mike. Yeah, I don't know where you are. So.
Actually,
I can read them while you're waiting. All right, Annie Fitzgerald, thanks for becoming a member. Appreciate you. That's pretty awesome. Antifa Fox, thank you for the $2. Are you going to talk about Sargon versus Lauren Southern? We missed it, but basically, if you didn't know, Nathan J. Robinson kind of did a post about how it's kind of sad that Lauren Southern was in a trad wife relationship and very unhappy. And a lot of people were like, "Yeah, she's also an extremist, far right, racist, white supremacist piece of shit." And the lesson should be feminism's good, actually.
Yeah.
Tokyo Hans, thanks for the 3-month membership. Monk Without a Cause, thank you so much for the gifted 5 memberships. And I only have 2 more, so you can go back to. I can save them for the next time you're in between.
Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know. Maybe it's far back.
About it.
But I think that was my last chat. So if that's the case, yes, it is. I'm gonna go. Good night.
Right.
Take care, David.
Bye.
What's next for us, Mike? Let's do this.
All right.
Oh, too close. Oh, no. Okay, much better.
This one's for you, I believe.
Okay, Renee with the super chat. I mean, it is the 1930s, but they're the Bund. Okay, Renee. I don't know. Renee's feeling frisky tonight. Rachel K with a membership. Thank you so much, Rachel. Appreciate you becoming a member. Thank you so much. Omega Shenron with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much, Omega. For all my fellow New Yorkers, this lady is right. It was 79 years. Anyways, how are y'all feeling about Karen Sparian? Ooh, is that what they're calling her nowadays? Oh, dogging cosmopolitics despite being friends. And Mike, I'm at Marineford in OP now. Marineford in OP now. I don't know what that is. What is that?
I don't know. Oh, and One Piece. Oh, yeah, I'm there too, actually. Yeah. I'm a little bit further, so I won't say, but there's a lot of fun stuff happening there. Yeah, I've not seen this of Cosmopolitics. We love Cosmopolitics, so I'm not really sure what they're referring to. But
Yeah,
I will say
know
that
what happened with Cosmopolitics.
Yeah, I have no idea. The new Yakas broke my brain until you read it. I'm like, oh, New York. I was like, what the fuck is that? Like, it didn't register to
New
me.
Yorkers. Maybe I didn't even do it right when I was reading it. Maybe because I
Well, no, it clicked for me when you did it. So I think you did.
Looney Tunes 9,000 with a super chat. Blah blah blah. All I heard was crazy Karen Katie Britt. Yeah, she's a weirdo. She's off the wall. Yeah.
Yeah.
For Resto with a super chat. My cousin got robbed at gunpoint once from a room rental scam. Basically, they advertised the room for rent and then mugged applicants. People are crazy. Wow. That one's fucked up though. That's not even really a scam in the sense that like, oh,
how long can you do that until someone's like, so people are just robbing each other in that room there?
Yeah, like that's not so much a scam. That's just like a straight up crime.
I don't know how many you get away with. Yeah, I kind of have to move location.
Right.
Don't go in there. It's not a good time.
That's fucking crazy. CS Coolidge, thank you for the $2. Just want to say again, thank y'all. Love y'all. Oh, that's so sweet. CS, I really appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. Okay, wait. I think this is Rebecca. Let's get through.
Renee with a super chat. Oh, he's not here, but Fidel Dole. All right, I'll give you that one, Renee. He does look a little bit like him. Charlie DeGinemer with a 10-month member chat. Lance looks like Brendan Fraser, but specifically from the Mummy movie.
Nice.
Right, you do actually, yeah. And I gotta say that's
the second best Brendan Fraser after.
That's
George
also like
Jungle,
his most handsome era, I would say.
Yeah, before he became a freak.
Renee with another super chat. Class war, but still shallow. Macklemore stepped up.
Yeah, he really did.
Chargund with a super chat. $10 super chat. I missed the stream because I was watching Baby Reindeer. What the fuck was that? But I wanted to send my love to y'all. Well, thank you, Chargund. And I have not seen Baby Reindeer. It's a Netflix series, I believe, correct? I've not seen it. I don't know much about it, but I don't
know what it is.
I've heard it's a show based on a true story about this guy that was stalked by a woman, and the woman was discovered by the internet in real life, and she's come out. She did an interview with Piers Morgan, and she wants to sue Netflix for defamation. It's a whole thing. I haven't seen the show yet. That's what I have learned from Philip DeFranco, who's been covering it, and now I'm kind of interested in watching it because there's all this lore behind it. Apparently she wants to tell her side of the story now, and that's what she did on Piers Morgan. I haven't seen the interview yet though. Tyler Hackner.
Why would you do that though? Like why would you come out and be like, oh, the crazy woman and the the crazy stalker woman in the show? That was based on me, okay?
Well, internet sleuths had already discovered her, and she said it already ruined her life. So she wanted to basically come out and tell her side anyway, since people knew who she was.
Yeah, but I feel like you could still always just deny it to you. Like there's no internet sleuths just basically are speculating off of bits and pieces they put together. There's no substantiative proof until you come out and say, "That's me."
Are you slandering the RBI, Matt? The Reddit Bureau of Investigation?
RBI.
The Reddit Bureau of Investigation.
Her argument, based on what I've heard, is that they basically didn't do enough to separate the main character from her. Looks very similar to her, and it does look pretty similar to her. So I don't know. I've got to I'm just curious at this point. We'll see. Apparently,
you couldn't pull that shit out of me. If I was a crazy stalker,
I would have never said anything.
That the show is based on me. I don't care if they made this guy 5'4", long hair, punk rock, the same exact tattoos that I have. The guy just happens to be a politics streamer too. I would have been like, that's really bizarre. I don't know who the hell they're talking about. Must have been what a crazy coincidence. Must have been someone else.
I'd be like, that was Matt Walsh.
I would hate to be that guy.
Kenzie Page, thank you, member for 11 months. Very, very cool. Okay. This was David, or is this you, Matt?
That's for me, I believe. Is my audio going out, or is that someone? Do you hear me fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
You sound fine to me.
Ryan Lennon fan with a super chat. Drake's entourage assaulted model Bennett Sipes in a 20v1 because Drake was rejected by Sipes' girlfriend, Summer Rae. He's a violent abuser. I don't know about this. I have to look it up.
I feel like the list of stories is fucking endless, though. There's been so much of, like, Twitter detectives uncovering all this shit, and, like, a lot of it is, like, there's no smoking gun. There's no, like, this is 100% a woman that Drake had sex with when she was a minor. But there's a lot of, like, yikes. That does not look great. Let's just say that.
Yeah. Thank you, Shama, for a $1.99. Appreciate all the super chats. Macklemore's Hind's Hall is great. Yeah, it really is. I can't wait till it's streaming because it's amazing.
Renee with a super chat. Check out Somos Sir by Anita Tiju too. Okay, I will.
Zero PE with $4.99. Thank you, Zero. Did you all see Abby Martin on Piers debating an Israeli spy? That dude was unhinged as fuck. Yeah, I saw a little bit of it on my Twitch stream from last night. And yeah, he's extremely unhinged, saying she's a bad mother and shit. Just a propagandist for Hamas. Such a weird person.
There's another clip of him saying that he would trade all the Muslims on the planet. He's like 1.4 billion Muslims for a cow. I would choose the cow every time. And
is that the same interview?
No, it's not the same. No, it's the same guy, but it's a
okay.
Different clip of him where he's like, yes, I would exterminate all the Muslims on the world in exchange for a cow, kind of shit. And like, that's fucked up.
Not helping Israel beat the charges that they're not doing a genocide with shit, being said like that.
Andrew with a 10-month member super chat. The trans Hydra was an attempt from TERF to spread fear like the Satanic Panic, but they made the Hydra look too cool. What's the trans Hydra?
Let me look at it.
They often do that unintentionally based shit that they post out. Like, do you remember the Pride Demon? That was amazing.
Oh, the Trans Hydra. Oh, that's where this is from? I didn't know it was originally a right-wing meme. Yeah, the Trans Hydra fucking goes hard. I've also seen the Rainbow Hydra, but I didn't know that came from an originally anti-trans poster. Awesome. Yeah, reappropriated that shit. Printed on t-shirts.
Yeah.
Use it.
Everything they put out, we're stealing it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Corcoran with $2. David is DeSantis and Lance is handsome Squidward. I don't think David looks like DeSantis.
No, I definitely don't think David looks.
I don't see.
Someone said David looks like White Drake. I was like,
White Drake.
No, I do see. Actually, now that Chris says it, I actually do see the DeSantis. I do see it. It's not an exact one for one, but there is some DeSantis. He's gonna be so pissed when he finds out about this. He definitely has.
I don't see DeSantis at all.
I don't see DeSantis at all. No.
Yeah, you're doing him dirty.
Yeah,
there's a little bit.
Well, that was it for us, Lance. If you have any more.
Yeah, I got two quick ones I can run out. Lance, you should have brought up your conversation with Ed Zitron on AI. That conversation made me feel better about AI and the direction we're headed by Zero PE. And thank you for the $4.99. Matt, I know you've talked to Ed Zitron. He's a lot of fun to talk to. He will make you feel better about AI.
Yeah, Ed Zitron's great. You had him on?
Yeah. And he was talking a lot about AI, and he did actually do a really good job of making it seem like AI is way less scary than people are making it out to be, except for scams. He agrees with Rebecca. He's like, people.
No, yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
Let me thank Justin Freakin for the raid over on Twitch. Nice. Thanks, Justin Freakin, and your viewers. Thank you so much. And
thanks, Justin Freakin.
One Great Earth, resubscriber Prime, subscriber for 5 months. Thank you so much, One Great Earth. And that's
who are we gonna raid?
Oh my!
I still have two quick ones for you. Nascent Complacence, thanks for the 199. Wanted to know what Rebecca was drinking. I don't know. And Sir Gerval, that interview with Hillary got a lot better when Hillary and Joe Scarborough started whining about professors at TikTok, making the kids think that Hillary and Madeleine Albright are war criminals. Did that happen? I didn't watch the rest of that interview. But,
I mean,
so that sounds fucking amazing. Yeah, that as well.
Yeah. Thank you, Kowalski, for the super sticker. It's a little fist bump. Very cool. It's a little guy dancing with signs that say fist and bump. Thank you, Kowalski. I appreciate that.
Thanks, Badash29 for the $5 dono. So very, very kind of you.
You're all so kind. Thank you all so much. Okay.
Who do you want to raid? USA Hole is on.
Let's do it.
I don't know who that is, but I trust you. Is it just spelled like USA?
They're a good streamer, yeah, and they get very excited when they get raided, so it's fun.
Okay, well, what's their? Can you spell their name?
I like people who get excited and give react to the raid. It's always sad when you raid someone and it's just like they're so popular already that they really notice.
USAHOLE with a zero.
Okay. The O in hole is a zero.
Okay.
Gotcha. All right, bye, fam. Love y'all.
Oh, I gotta do it too. Hold on. I'm completely behind. I was. Here we go.
I'm rating with 10 people, so.
Hey, it's better than no people.
Yeah. All right. Well, take care, everyone. We'll see you all next week.
Peace. Don't shut it off yet. Hold on. My raid is still growing in number. All right, here we go. I'm pressing it. You ready?
Yep.